German American F-15E fighter jet has been shot down in southern Iran, and CBS News has just been told that one crew member has been rescued by U.S. forces. The shootdown comes after weeks of claims that the U.S. had obliterated Iran's defense systems. Correspondent Charlie Daggett.
It was actually a couple of weeks ago. I was in the region reporting it, that the United States and the Israelis said that they had essentially knocked out all of Iran's air defenses, meaning that they could not reach any of the fighter jets that were on these bombing missions. And we're talking about thousands of bombing missions.
CBS News national security analyst Aaron McLean.
We are not particularly used to operating in an environment where there's heavily contested airspace. Obviously, here in Iran, we're encountering that here about, 5 weeks into the campaign. It's a very serious consideration.
As the war continues, the president's budget proposal includes a $600 billion increase for military spending, bringing the total to about $1.5 trillion. White House correspondent Weijia Jiang says the increase comes at the expense of other programs.
In terms of this new proposal, we know that non-defense spending is going to be cut by about 10%, $73 billion. The president says that he wants to reduce or eliminate, quote, woke, weaponized, and wasteful programs.
The Labor Department says the U.S. economy gained tens of thousands of jobs last month after losing tens of thousands back in February. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
So far this year, the economy has added an average of 68,000 jobs per month, a number that would be considered sort of tepid by historical standards, but certainly better than the 10,000 jobs a month created in 2025.
The Artemis II astronauts are doing well, and they're due to wake up in about a half hour. Their spacecraft is coasting toward the moon, and retired astronaut Chris Cassidy says they're living in tight quarters, so it's a really good thing that they all like each other a lot.
Imagine taking a road trip with your family in really smaller than a minivan. People say minivan, but when you put all the gear and equipment, there's not a whole lot of room. And in that same space, they have to exercise, they have to go to the bathroom, they have to sleep, they have to operate the vehicle. So privacy and space is something that is not a luxury for them. They have to give it to each other and operate for a week together in that really small space.
The crew has sent back some breathtaking pictures of the Earth that were shot just after their translunar injection burn last night. You can see them at cbsnews.com. Artemis II is due to loop behind the moon on Monday. On Wall Street, the markets are closed for the Good Friday holiday. This is CBS News.
It's one of the most successful law and justice programs in television history that continues to uncover the truth. 48 Hours, Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
We are dealing with a fire that has now turned deadly in Tacoma. We're going to have our reporter Frank Lenzi live in just a moment. But first, we're going to go to KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. And we are pretty Friday light. I-5 northbound getting into Seattle is probably the most difficult go. It's 25 minutes Federal Way to Seattle, and we are seeing some backups on the West Seattle Bridge. Quite a bit, actually, almost like it's a Tuesday. But you're going to get through there and get to I-5, and it's not going to be too bad. The lake bridges are clear. I-5 southbound, Linwood to Seattle is 20 minutes. Linwood to Bellevue on 405 is just 20 minutes. That is a great drive. It's usually about an hour this time of day. 405 northbound, Renton to Bellevue, 16 minutes. The south sound looks very clear, except that we're dealing with that house fire, so stay away from the area around Pearl Street, the 1200 block of Pearl Street. This report brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Ichiro Replica Statue Night is Friday, April 10th. Don't miss out and get your tickets at mariners.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. One person has now died in a fire at an apartment complex in Tacoma. We go live to Frank Lenzi, our news director, who's reporting from the scene.
Yeah, Jillian, this is it's a complex called 1201 Pearl, and I just heard moments ago that the fire now is out. This started a little more than an hour ago, probably an hour and 15 minutes ago. Residents started getting notified by yelling firefighters to get out. There was a fire, and I talked to a couple of residents who did see smoke coming out of the top of this apartment complex, and they also saw a person on a gurney. That person did not make it. The firefighters are now rolling up their hoses, and there's still a pretty big presence out here, probably a dozen fire rigs out here. And you've also got people waiting to go back inside. It's a chilly morning. It was early. Most of them were asleep. So you've got people in pajamas carrying their cats and carriers or dogs on leashes as they wait this thing out. No word yet what started this fire. Live in Tacoma, Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Thank you so much, Frank, and we will be getting updates throughout the morning on that fire. A man who escaped from Western State Hospital remains on the run this morning, and police say he is considered dangerous. Joshua Dylan Rice apparently climbed out of the window of his room Tuesday night. We have a photo of him on mynorthwest.com. And a man on the State Patrol's most wanted list is off the streets after 9 years on the run. The State Patrol says detectives arrested Jerry Denson yesterday in West Seattle. Back in 2017, Denson is accused of crashing his car on I-5 in Kent while driving drunk. A passenger was thrown from the vehicle and killed. And a wild police chase through 2 counties shut down I-5 South for hours last night in Chehalis. A 51-year-old woman barricaded herself in a car after it was stopped with spike strips, and she was eventually arrested. Speaking of I-5, it's going to be shut down the next 2 nights from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. in DuPont. WashDOT is tearing down the old Steilacoom-DuPont Road overpass.
We'll really work to get all the people through there as best we can, but pardon or dust, there's going to be a lot of construction during those 2 nights.
Doug Adamson with WashDOT says hour delays could be possible depending on traffic. Now, your weather forecast. A few sprinkles to start the day, but mostly cloudy the rest of the day and a gorgeous weekend. Mostly sunny Saturday with a high of 61. It's 46 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Oh, yeah. Happy Fresh Fridays here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Appreciate you hanging out with us today. Oh, what a week it has been. Good morning, Ursula.
Good morning. And Nick, fantastic choice.
Throwing a little Mariah Carey there.
Hello, little Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. A little
Bringing
emotion.
it back.
It is,
absolutely.
It is also Flex Fridays.
Yes, it is. So coming up at 9:47, we're going to be talking about a couple of little things that you can do to stretch your life. You can add a year to your life by just doing a couple of things. And then you, G, are going to share why it is that this upcoming birthday, which is so tough for so many people, why you are feeling better about it than just about any other birthday.
That's right. Coming up.
Yeah. And then at 9:30, Sound Transit is now staring at a $35 billion budget shortfall. And then we're hearing that one option that they're considering would stop the line in Fife instead of going all the way to Tacoma. Say what? Tacoma leaders are pushing back, and we're going to dig into that coming up at 9:30. As always, we invite you to join us on our Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
Ursula's top stories of the day brought to you by Pendergast Law.
Turns out our state is handing out hundreds of millions of dollars to help families afford child care, but a new audit suggests that the system might be a little too trusting. State auditors say about $37 million in payments, about 10% of federal child care funds, could, and that's an emphasis there, could be questionable because of missing paperwork, overbilling, or weak oversight. It doesn't mean that fraud necessarily is rampant, but it does mean that the state is paying providers first and asking questions, in some cases many months later. In fact, auditors did find overpayments in 2/3 of the cases reviewed, and just 6 state workers right now are tasked with auditing hundreds of millions of dollars. Sometimes, again, reviewing payments 6 months to a year after the fact, G. The Department of Children, Youth, and Families says it is trying to improve. They're asking for better systems and more staff, and they're insisting that there's no confirmed, at least, misuse of funds. But again, once again, we're talking about an audit is done, and suddenly it's, oh, we might have a problem.
I apologize to y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to every Gee and Ursula Show listener over these years. I'm sorry because I cannot really believe that in 2026 we are listening and hearing government say things like questionable. And when you hear the word questionable, Ursula, you know what that is? Questionable means, sorry, y'all, we don't know how to keep track of money. We haven't gotten the systems in place to do it. And I know that you guys been trying to tell G. You guys been trying to tell him that this government is awful with money. You guys been trying to tell him that this government just doesn't do the right thing by the money. But no, G kept just saying, no. You gotta, they doing the best they can. And
Sorry.
No.
Wow, this is a
because
revelation here.
Because here's the thing. What you're hearing from me is you're actually hearing like beyond frustration. And the beauty of turning 50 is my filter's gone. We have people truly that are really having a hard time where you have parents, families who cannot afford childcare. You have providers for these things are barely keeping up. They're barely staying afloat. And now we are talking about we got to figure out where these funds are. And then when you get ready to come and ask we, the taxpayers, for money, you wonder why a taxpayer said, no, I'm tired. I'm tired that you guys keep in 2026. You mean to tell me you don't have a damn system in place to figure this out? There is no way. And here's the part that really burns me up. Guess how many workers are in place to handle this? Now you would
5 or 6.
6.
Yeah.
You would think that in something like this there would be like, are you talking about millions of dollars? You would think that there would be a team of 100 or a team of 20. 6.
And that's what they're pleading right now. But before the state ever pleads poverty and asks us taxpayers to spend more, and oh my gosh, we're facing these big deficits. Yeah, you have lost the trust of people who are barely making ends meet, and then you're asking for more and more, and then we hear that because the auditors are looking into this, which is their job. But again, why do you have to look at it at the back end? Why isn't this happening in the front end? This is atrocious. And again, they're saying, well, it might not be, we might just not have tracked everything. But at the very least, if you're looking at only 10, if you're looking about these payments and you say they could be questionable about $37 million, I mean, that is very troubling.
When they said, like I said, that word stood out to me, questionable.
Yeah.
That means we having a hard time tracking the money. And I'm just glad, Ursula, this is Friday. I'm glad this is the last story of the week that you have about...
No.
Huh?
You think it's the last story?
I thought it was the last one.
No. Actually,
Lord
there's someone who's trying to do something a little bit different.
Okay, what they do?
And so let's talk about that because, the city of Seattle also is looking at what is going on with King County. And remember, we were talking about King County having the same thing that the state is saying they're having, that basically payments being made out from this one particular department. The Seattle Times did that investigation.
Right.
Well, Seattle is taking a long look in the mirror before someone else forces them to. And this is from City Council member Maritza Rivera. She's now calling for an audit of Seattle's human services contracts, not because of a specific scandal, but because of what is unfolding with King County. Mm-hmm. And as the Seattle Times reports, she says the city cannot afford to assume everything is fine when millions of taxpayer dollars are flowing through nonprofits, especially when some of those same organizations also contract with King County, where auditors flag potentially big problems. And again, just for people, if you're just joining us, remember this was a Seattle Times investigation, and the county auditors reviewed just a fraction of the contractors, and they referred more than half of them for investigation because there was no paperwork, or there were vague records, or even partnerships that may not exist. And we talked to County Council member Rod Dembowski, and Sophia, you have that soundbite somewhere that you can play for me?
Yes, I do.
Okay, but anyway, remember he said it wasn't, some of it was missing paperwork, but in some cases he thought it was potentially outright fraud.
This is very simple. Have any contractors been held financially accountable with any penalties,
any bans, so that we taxpayers, folks that are in King County, can understand better what's going on? Or is the expectation for people hearing this to be like, hey, business as usual?
No, I think we're on the precipice of holding them accountable with this report that's going to come back from the Clark Nuber firm.
So there will be names and accountability.
Yes, we've identified
potentially criminal charges.
If there's actual theft, I think there ought to be, and I've talked to our auditor's office about that. I have personally referred some of these matters to the Ombuds office, which is another independent oversight function. But on the bar issue, that's actually a piece of legislation I want to bring. If you have been found, and the federal government does this, if you've been found to have defrauded us or seriously not lived up to your contractual obligations, no more money, no more contracts.
Hello. And now Seattle's trying to get ahead of anything like that.
First, respect. Respect to her coming out and saying that, like, hey, after seeing what's going on here, we need to audit and figure out some things that's going on. You know, Ursula, I had an analogy. I know y'all be making fun of my analogies, but one of the main reasons why I have been fat for some time is because I call myself eating better, but I was doing a terrible job of tracking the calories. You see what I'm saying? So what I would do is I would make this food, Ursula, right? And I was just look at it just by the look. And it looks like it's okay. It looks like I'm doing well, but I wouldn't weigh it. I had no track record of how to measure what was going inside of my body. I was going by gut feeling. Now, I understand G messing up with his diet because G wasn't getting money from Nick, Sophia, and Ursula to do the right thing. With government, you are literally getting money from the people. And the people are expecting you not to handle the money the same way G. Scott handles his damn diet.
I like that analogy.
Did you like that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the only one who is affected by you
is me.
Exactly.
But in this case, they're handling the money the way G handles his diet, and the people that are affected are all the constituents that are out here.
Don't ask us for more money until you get your house in order. Pierce County deputies broke protocol at the scene of a DUI crash involving one of their own, but the sheriff says they're not going to be disciplined because of wording. So this is a story that we have been covering, and now an internal investigation found that there were multiple policy violations after that 2025 crash in Graham involving then Major Chad Dickerson, who slammed into a family SUV, injuring 6 people, including a pregnant woman and several children. Investigators say deputies failed to properly use body cameras. They didn't document why the recording stopped and fell short on basic reporting and supervision at the scene. Now, Sheriff Keith Swank spoke with our reporter James Lynch and said there's no discipline warranted because of one word on the old policy.
The policy says should instead of shall. It's a policy that was in effect before me. I would never have agreed to that type of a policy, but that's what I had.
And he acknowledges, that the deputy's judgment was wrong in this case, but should and shall are 2 different words, he says, and he cannot fire or suspend anyone involved.
I was unable to impose any discipline regarding cameras because they did not violate the policy as it was written. And I do want to hold people accountable, but I was unable to. And had I done something like that, I would have set the county up for civil litigation that could have resulted in millions of dollars with attorney's fees and payout.
So he says the deputies are going to be retrained on body camera rules, evidence handling, supervisors are going to be held more accountable, and he's also going to work with the union to change the wording in policies so incidents like this can be avoided.
Yeah, you know what? I would love to talk to the union. Since we're talking about the union, because that just sounds interesting. Sounds like Swank just came right on out real early with all these findings. But you know what? Here's the thing. This is a reminder, Ursula, that I always talk about the system. The system protects itself. The system does nothing for us. And what I mean by that is this has all come about because of the Pierce County Major, Chad Dickerson, right?
Who has since resigned now, or retired.
Okay,
retired.
let me finish this one. Yeah. He was charged with vehicular assault that was tied to a DUI crash. After the charges came out, he was able to retire. So this isn't about Chad, because Chad gets to walk away free and clear. But what this points out is the system that G is always talking about, the system that continues going, the system that literally tells you folks wasn't having on cameras, that nothing was matching with the paperwork. They would have tried to get away clear with this. Remember, they let Chad leave the scene with his wife. And so all I want to just say is this. I look forward to the day that law enforcement, with or without cameras, because the only reason why we're knowing about this is because of Washington State Patrol was on top of things and went to go follow him and went to go find out where this guy was at urgent care. But I just want this system to start to do a better job of protecting us, the public, instead of protecting themselves, Ursula. Mm-hmm. That's it. Because that's what this is. I hope everybody sees it. So when G's always talking about the system, you get a clear view of Pierce County Sheriff's Department and the system. And here's the beauty. Nobody will be held accountable. Mm-hmm. Chad Dickerson gets to retire, goes off into the sunset.
And because shall and should are two different words, none of the officers or the deputies will be disciplined. If I'm the family that was involved in this crash, I'm sure that they have an attorney, and I'm sure that they were waiting for the investigation findings, and I'm sure that there's going to be some kind of civil relief.
Hey, but Ursula, we all know, the only thing that happens is the family gets money, the system remains.
Yeah, I know. But he says he's going to make those changes. Starbucks is now trying to put a little more money in baristas' pockets and maybe cool things down at the same time. The company just announcing a new bonus program that could pay the baristas and shift supervisors up to $300 every quarter, about $1,200 a year, if their store hits certain goals. And on top of that, workers will soon start earning tips from more places like credit cards and mobile orders, not just cash or Starbucks cards. And then come August, Starbucks, I like this one, is switching to weekly pay instead of every 2 weeks.
Starbucks followed the Dick's Burgers. You know what I'm saying? Because Ursula, you even said it too. Every time we talk about Dick's Burgers, there's always some good news. And Starbucks heard us talking about them the other day because I said, every time we talk about Starbucks, there's always some negative news. But Starbucks said, hey, G, Ursula, shut up. We got some good news for you. Now, make sure you talk about this. But that's one thing about the Gee and Ursula Show. We don't have an agenda. We actually say, hey, Starbucks, good for you. What you think?
You know who thinks they have an agenda?
Who?
The union, Starbucks Workers United. Okay. They say this is a response to organizing pressure because they're trying to unionize more stores.
Yeah.
So they're saying that the company's trying to sweeten the pot, which of course they are. Mm-hmm. But they're pointing out that these bonuses depend on store performance and customers tipping, which workers don't fully control. And this also comes after there have been these store closures across Washington.
Yeah.
We just talked about 4 out of 5 Seattle area locations, I believe, were union shops. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I don't blame the company for doing this.
Me either. Me either.
But I also don't blame those who are trying to unionize from saying, not so fast.
They knew the Gee and Ursula Show. I'll bet you they talk about this.
Yeah, I think a lot of people decide what they're going to do based on our show, right?
Yeah. I'm just saying. I'll say it. Okay, 9:45. 9:47. It is Flex Fridays. So Ursula has a topic on here that says something that you can do to add years to your life.
Easy things.
Now, up next.
Tacoma.
Wait.
Tacoma.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Sound Transit has a $34 billion shortfall. And what this means, I'm so tired.
Yeah. Tacoma wants to know if they're still going to get light rail.
Man, Tacoma been getting dissed for years.
Yes.
All right, we do that next. Gee and Ursula.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO News Radio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app.
Taxes was waiting on the refund you needed yesterday.
All right, your car repair is going to run about $3,000.
Ugh. Now Taxes is getting back on the road with TurboTax and Credit Karma, where you can get your refund up to 5 days faster and get personalized guidance to take every dollar further. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Deposit a federal refund into Credit Karma Money account and early submission of refund data by IRS required. Terms apply. Banking services provided by MVB Bank, Inc. Member FDIC. Credit Karma is not a bank.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-290-7100. That's 800-290-7100.
Oil isn't the only resource hit hard by global events. American farmers are sounding the alarm by fertilizer prices at planting season. Will this disrupt our food supply? Raising prices? Cause shortages? I'm not waiting to find out, and neither should you. Go to mypatriotsupply.com, get a 3-month emergency food supply. They'll include $200 worth of extra survival protein absolutely free. After serving more than 3 million American families since 2008, you can trust mypatriotsupply.com. Go to mypatriotsupply.com.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Till good RX Reutin, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
I put it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
I just can't dig it.
Dig what?
My water line.
Needs replacing?
And I don't want digging in my yard.
And maybe your driveway.
Can't dig it.
Don't dig it.
But how do you?
Apollo Plumbing replaces water lines without digging up your yard.
You're Dan.
From the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Apollo Plumbing.
Our trenchless technology replaces water and sewer lines.
Without digging up my yard?
2 little holes is all it takes.
Sounds better.
Faster, too.
And my yard?
Like we were never there.
Sounds spendy.
Not so much.
Oh?
In the end, about the same as that messy digging you don't want.
How do you figure?
Think about that landscaping you love.
Yeah?
Trenchless means you won't be paying to replace it.
Or my driveway.
We run everything underground.
Trenchless?
Do them all the time.
How about...
Easy payments?
Yeah.
With approved credit. Sure thing.
When can you get started?
We are the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Love that.
Apollo Plumbing, trenchless waterline replacement.
Sewer lines, too.
Can you dig that?
That I can.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Hartley here from Wilcox Farms. For over 100 years, my family's been committed to doing what's right. At Wilcox Family Farms, that means caring for our hens with healthy pasture environments and a diet of organic grains and flax seeds. It's how we produce eggs that are wholesome, flavorful, and good for you. Next time you're at an egg case in your local store, we hope you feel good about choosing Wilcox eggs. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
30 years ago, Davis Law Group was founded to be the best law firm for our clients and our community. Our core values are to win, help, and serve. It means our success is defined by the difference we make in our clients' lives and the impact we can have in our community. Not by giant settlement checks or shiny offices. Our mission to lift up the vulnerable extends beyond the courtroom to our charity partners, promoting safety, uplifting students, accident victims, foster youth, and the elderly. If you've been injured and want better results for your claim and for all of Washington, call Davis Law Group today.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today. 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
CBS News special report. Sources tell CBS News U.S. forces have rescued a pilot whose F-15 was shot down in southern Iran this morning. It's not known if that pilot was the only crew member aboard. Correspondent Charlie Daggett.
The F-15 Strike Eagle fighter jet can be a one-seater or two-seater variant. So the number of crew involved is still unclear. A statement on Iranian television urging residents to join the hunt for the pilot or pilots, offering a bounty for any U.S. service members dead or alive.
President Trump and Defense Secretary Hegseth have claimed that the U.S. has obliterated Iran's air defense systems. CBS News national security analyst Aaron McClain.
It's possible here that the United States military may have missed one of Iran's higher-end air defense systems, or perhaps the Iranians were concealing it and saving it for later in the campaign. It's also possible, essentially, that a lower-quality system just got a lucky shot as this aircraft went by.
CBS News special report. I'm Peter King.
And I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio. One person has now died after a fire at an apartment complex in Tacoma. Catherine lives there.
I was asleep, and then I heard the firefighters knocking on the door shouting fire. Then I went to wake this guy up.
We're told this fire involved 2 units and was active in the floor. It's out now, but we don't know yet what caused it, and we don't know anything about the person who died. Average gas prices in Washington are relatively stable, with both AAA and Gas Buddy showing an increase of a cent to $5.37 a gallon for regular. It's a modest average jump, but prices vary hugely across the state, with individual gas stations seeing unpredictable increases. In West Seattle, one of our reporters showed us a station that was $5.99 a gallon with diesel at $7.99. In Bellevue, some Safeway stations can still get you close to $5 and even under with points. Petroleum analyst Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy is predicting increases over the weekend, since most of the oil tanker traffic that had gone through the strait has already offloaded its cargo. Now we're going to check your drive, and it is still Friday light, looking very nice. Federal Way to Seattle, 25 minutes. Linwood to Seattle, 23 minutes. That is ticking up a few minutes from about a half hour ago, but I don't see anything blocking. The lake bridges are looking clear. Renton to Bellevue, still just a tiny bit of slowing through the Kennydale Hill. That drive is about 16 minutes. And Linwood to Bellevue on 405 southbound is smooth sailing at 16 minutes. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. We are going to stay mostly dry throughout the day, high of 57, and just getting better and better throughout the weekend. 61 degrees on Saturday and mostly sunny, and a beautiful 65-degree day on Sunday. 46 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
I'm their conduit, and I'm glad to do it.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show, and I love it when Chris Sullivan joins us. Sully is here because we understand that Tacoma is pleading to make sure that light rail still comes to Tacoma. What is going on?
Really? Who's pleading in Tacoma? I think they all voted down ST3 and are tired of paying and don't even care if it gets to Tacoma.
Well, my understanding is that Tacoma leaders have written a letter now saying, wait a minute, don't just stop at Fife.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
I mean, now that they're paying.
Yeah, so the biggest issue we have going on with Sound Transit right now is the issue that we have had with Sound Transit since its inception. It has never really been a great been a poorly run organization. Let's be realistic from the beginning. It's gotten better over the last 20 years or so, but it has never really ever delivered anything on time, on budget, or what it promised.
And right now it has a big fat
and
deficit.
Right now it's got a $34 billion deficit going forward for ST3. I mean, just last week we were all, hooray, we got to cross the lake, That's ST2. That was voted in 2008. So we haven't even started on ST3, which we voted on in 2016, which was $54 billion. Now it's 85 to maybe over $100 billion total going forward to deliver all this. Right now, the only hard number we have is $34 billion. And what they're looking at, they had a big powwow. They all got together, had an off-site retreat. I talked to all the board members a couple weeks back. And they're like, okay, what do we do? Well, here are our options. We just stop right now. It's called a day and just go with what we have. Like ST3 didn't exist, and all the money we've been collecting all this time and everything we promised to the voters doesn't happen. Or we go back, like we maybe don't go to Tacoma, we only go to Fife. Maybe we don't go all the way to the West Seattle Junction, we only go to Delridge. Maybe we even don't go to Ballard at all. Maybe we end at Mariner High School in Everett instead of going all the way up to the Everett. Or we change the alignment a little bit. We get rid of stations. We get rid of this. They're looking for ways to get that money back. But I think what people are saying is, I've been paying into this thing for 30 years,
yes,
and it hasn't gotten to me in Tacoma. It hasn't gotten to me in Everett. And, I mean, no. So you're going to tell me I'm going to get no return on my investment? And so that's what they're talking about. And that's why when I talked to Dow Constantine, the CEO, last week, and he said, there is no world in which we are not going to deliver what they're now banking this on. The voters, we got to do what we promised the voters. We got to get damn how much it costs. And that's pretty much.
We don't care how much it costs.
Well, in order to make that happen, that's the reality.
Who was the last executive of King County?
That would be Dow Constantine.
And who was the head of the board of Sound Transit before he fell up into the position of being CEO of Sound Transit? Who's responsible for this? Dow Constantine. He's the one constant, along with a lot of others.
No
Dave
intended.
Summers and other things like that. But
I mean, I have said it before. I love light rail when I actually use it, but why is it so hard to stick with a budget, to stick with a plan? And now if you renege on going all the way to Tacoma when people have been paying into this,
and basically getting nothing
lawsuit
in Tacoma
waiting to happen.
Now, granted, they have the little trolley or the little T line that they have around Tacoma. How often do you ride that T line, G? You live in Pierce County. You've been paying for that, right? If you want to talk about the money you get from Pierce County, how's your bang for the buck on that? How many times you ridden the Sounder, to get up here to a game? Right. You live in Pierce County. How many?
0.
Okay, again, right. I mean, and let's not forget, people in Pierce County voted down ST2. They were ST3. They were the one of the three counties who voted it down. Snohomish almost voted it down.
But we're all in it together now.
King is running this. I mean, King always runs the show. Always has.
We can't. But here's the thing, though. We always have these ambassadors that get on there, and so you can do the right thing by paying. We can't even collect the dang on money the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. You know what's starting to happen? I'm getting ready to turn 50. And, man, I'm starting to really, really realize and rethink what I should do for a living. I think I might try to go get in government. And the reason why I might have to go get in government is you can literally go and do a job and not have to be accountable for anything. And all you got to do is, as a matter of fact, my man Robin Pialov said you said they had a retreat.
Yeah, they had a retreat.
How much that retreat cost? You feel me? You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, Sully's getting a twitch at this moment.
No, it's just great to see G awaken. It's great to see G awaken as you turn 50. It happens, buddy. I've been there a few years. You just what was I thinking? I don't know, Pierce County Executive G. Scott. How's that feel?
No, because, you know what I'm saying, like your dog getting ready to do taxes this weekend, right? And so as I get ready to do taxes, I know that they gonna want every single dollar from me.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, they will, because we just got done with it.
Yeah,
yes.
They want every single dollar from me. G, taxpayer, you better be on accountable. You better cross your T's and dot your I's. You better do everything right. But if I gave them that same excuse to say, hey, things are a little questionable right now. I'm trying to get better with my processes. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, hey, tax folks, let me go do a retreat and let me come back and sorry, I'm a little short on the money. But you understand because the same way you should understand, we're supposed to understand. It's crazy.
It's really easy to spend other people's money. And the only way you get that under control is to vote differently. And in this state,
true.
You look at again, I don't want to get political, but the reality
it is all political.
Who's in charge, who's been in charge, and those people continually get elected, and then there are no results, there's no accountability
Yes, which is why I always
especially
say
with our dollars and cents.
I am not in favor of single-party government, whether it is on the federal level or on the local level. So,
or
yes,
even the Sound Transit Board. Why not elect them so they're beholden to something? But we can't do that. Well, they technically are elected because they're just
elected people.
They're elected people, but they do this as a part-time job. This is a full-time gig if you're looking $34 billion in the hole.
Right now, here's the thing, and one of the things that I talk about and I'm very passionate about is where wages don't keep up with the time. So I'm assuming that the people that are responsible for this, they probably don't make the income, right, that a lot of people make. Like, so I don't know. I have to look up how much money does Dow Constantine make?
About $450.
Wait,
$450,000 a year?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have to rethink all this again.
Yeah, he's making more as the CEO of Sound Transit than he did as the King County executive.
You mean to tell me? Wait, and then when he was at King County, lately we've been talking about all the mismanagement of funds.
Right, and King County, and while he was the head of King County, he also put people on the board who then elected him to the CEO job.
You mean to tell me they didn't get hired on merit?
I didn't say that.
Okay, we need to give Dow Constantine a chance to respond to all this.
By the way, you
Dow,
haven't even gotten to the questions.
No, because just real quick, I know you said members of the board.
Joy.
Now I know exactly. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson is on the board. Yeah. She says light rail might come to West Seattle sooner than expected.
Boy, she's making all sorts of promises, isn't she? Not bad for somebody who's been to like 2 board meetings since she's had the job.
So is that not a done deal?
No. Well, let's just say when I asked the people at Sound Transit, the comms people that I talk to daily, or as often as I can, I was like, okay, Katie Wilson said this, that we could break ground a year ahead of schedule. And they're like, well, yeah, theoretically, if the board approves construction, we can start 90 days after that. Like, is that still scheduled for 2027? They're like, yes. Like, okay, great. Well, call me when it happens. She also told that West Seattle that they're getting rid of the Avalon station. So it was like fact. I asked the comms people. Oh, no, that decision hasn't been made. Of course it hasn't been made. I mean, let's not get... It's really easy to go out and say a whole bunch of things are rosy and great, but that only comes from lack of experience of understanding being a mayor or a board member.
Don't count on it just yet. Okay.
And if it happens, great. I'll be here to be like, this is awesome. But they still haven't figured out how it went from $4 billion to almost $8 billion, and how they're going to pay for that.
Oh boy.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, just like the billion is nothing anymore. Billion.
Should have voted for Lauren Culp.
I'm not going to go that far. I think we should have.
Coming up.
Go back. Maybe Rob McKenna might have been a better option.
Yeah, Rob McKenna. I voted for Rob McKenna.
He's one of the good ones. Hey, coming up next here on the Gee Ursula Show, 9:47 Flex Fridays, and Ursula's got the secret sauce. Gee Ursula.
Not sure how to tackle your taxes? Are you sweating the small print? You may be experiencing FOMO, the fear of messing up. The answer? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it. With a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. It's time to take your taxes to the max. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
You bought an RV, and you got an automatic discount from Progressive by bundling it with your home or auto insurance. That's great, but a serious word of warning every RVer should heed.
You don't need to talk about things like dry weight or dump stations. And you don't need one of those expensive water filter straws either. Because the most extreme thing most RVers encounter is a campsite without hookups. So just enjoy yourself. And Progressive's automatic discount when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day for baseball.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. Case in point, your ticket might be for the view level, but it's more like Skyline City. Up here, it's hard to say what'll take your breath away first. The gorgeous Seattle sunsets or the spectacular views of every incredible play. If you like value with the view, it's the perfect place to take quality time with the family to a whole new level. Literally.
A bases clearing, 3-run double. Everybody on their feet here at T-Mobile Park.
Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
The Mariners are back in town starting April 10th for a 4-game series against the Houston Astros. It all starts with Ichiro Replica Statue Night on Friday the 10th, presented by BDA. The first 40,000 fans take home this must-have collectible, with 20 scoring ones signed by Ichiro himself. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical,
there's no beating CM Heating.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we know that keeping your home watertight and dry is essential to your family's safety and comfort. Having well-functioning gutters prevents water damage to your home and prolongs the life of your roof. Whether you need a cleaning or a complete gutter install, we do it all. Call today and get $250 off a gutter installation and visit us at guardianroofing.com.
With Aetna, I always get a quick answer, and I don't have to search on the internet. They go above and beyond to help me with whatever I need.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a Best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when requested. We show up with access to convenient care options. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Parango and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
2 years ago, my office launched a major media campaign to identify key witness to our client's bicycle accident, which we later settled for $10 million. Because when we accept a case, we don't rest until we do everything possible to improve our client's chance of recovery. We're one of only a few firms in the state with an in-house investigation team building our clients' cases. So when you hire Davis Law Group, you don't just get a dedicated and award-winning legal team. You get our commitment to better service and even better results. Request a free consultation today at 206-888-8888.
I think I'm at a sporting event game right here.
Talking about moving around in this one, right?
What?
Flex
What
Fridays.
movie? There's like a movie that this song is
Space Jam.
Aha, okay, yeah.
Okay. We need to talk. It is Flex Fridays. Love to send in what you been doing this week. Did you get out and get a little workout, a little extra walking, and all the good stuff? Ursula, let's start with you.
First of all, y'all know that I was very, very sick. So it took me out and I have only just fully recovered maybe in the last couple of days.
Yeah.
But in the last couple of days, I have tried to make up for the days that I was down and out. And when I say down and out, I mean, I never even got out of bed other than to go to the doctor or the ER.
That's down and out.
Yeah, that was down and out. So what I've started to do is work out in my basement. So I have an exercise bike that I inherited from my mom. And so it's always a joy for me to sit on there, and it has like the resistance bands and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So I did that 2 times this week, just in the last couple of days. I'm still doing the jumping jacks, so I went back, even though I've got my legs still recovering.
Right.
I'm still trying to do the 100 jumping jacks. At 60, it's a little bit harder.
Right.
I will say, but I did not get into the gym itself. I just try to do stuff around home.
That's good stuff. Now, I've worked out this week, but the biggest thing I want to tell you about that I can't really tell you about that I've discovered over the last 3 weeks is one word.
What's that?
Fiber.
Oh, fiber cannot be
that
emphasized
fiber,
enough.
That fiber is real.
Yes.
You got to be prepared for that fiber. That's all I got for you.
And protein.
And protein. I've known about the protein, but I didn't know about that fiber.
That's very important. Colon health.
Okay, so Ursula, you came with this because right now, every day, you might be berating yourself to do better. Go to bed earlier, Ursula.
Yeah. Yes. I'm doing better on that.
You have been.
Can I also say, do you see how awake I am right now?
I got to give you some love. You've been answering on the first ring and all that.
I know.
You've been killing
I've been
it.
trying. Yeah, because usually I'm diving into the car trying to get in, but by the time we have our meeting at 7.
Yeah.
But lately I've been up and early.
What made you start doing that?
Because I caught up on all my sleep while I was sick. I was forced to stay put. And can I also throw in one other thing? I lost 5 pounds in the last 2 weeks.
Are you getting introduced to fiber?
I'm trying to up the fiber and up the protein. Okay, but keep going.
Okay.
Because we're going to share some tips.
Go to bed earlier, work out more, all that stuff. But these habits right now, if these habits changes didn't have to be so drastic. So what if I told you this? Simply get 5 extra minutes of sleep a day, 2 more minutes of exercise, and a half a serving of vegetables more. Could you do it?
Yes.
According to a new study by researchers in Australia, doing just that could add a year or more to your lifespan. The research involves focusing on an acronym SPAN: sleep, physical activity, and nutrition.
Yes.
As reported by the Washington Post, researchers that track of nearly 60,000 volunteers, mostly in their 60s, and track their SPAN habits. They found that in order to achieve an additional decade of longevity and health, they found that the ideal baseline model is around 7 hours of sleep, 42 minutes of exercise, and a high-quality diet. For most, that translates to 5, 2.5. And would you do it?
Yeah, 5 extra minutes of sleep a day. I'm doing that. 2 more minutes of exercise. Absolutely doing that. And half a serving of vegetables. That's so easy.
Yeah.
I like vegetables.
I think my biggest thing has been I have been consistently getting over 7 hours of sleep.
I know you're really good about that.
That's been my.
That's the biggest thing, and that's my biggest hang up right now. I mean, I told you I've already gotten a sleep study. I cannot get back into the sleep doctor until May. I think it's May. I mean, I getting in, so many people have sleep issues. Getting in, it takes months to get those. But I need to ask you something because you're turning 50.
Yep.
In just over a week. And you said, I mean, you have not looked more forward to a birthday than this one since maybe you turned 21. Why?
I think it's my routine. I think my routine is so dialed in. It's like if you all have animals, you all know how much and how better behaved your animals are when they're on a routine, right? You whether it's a dog or a cat, whatever it might be. I think we humans are no different. the more of a routine that you have, the better off that you'd be. We get in trouble when you're just crapshoot. So as far as routine, I would love to see state government here in Washington get on a routine, right? So if they get on a routine, they can do better with the money. So that's the reason, Ursula. I just think that my routine is so good. I just feel really, and I'm embracing 50.
But I want to, because so many people get hung up on this idea like, oh my God, 50? It's really, my life really is halfway over. And that, for a lot of people, turning 50 is really tough.
Some of y'all turning 36 and you feel like your life is over because of the way you go about and you look at life, and your activities will show. Like, what you do usually is what you become.
So true.
You know what I'm saying?
You are so much healthier than when we started the show.
Way healthier. I feel much better.
Yeah.
More importantly is how you feel.
It's true.
Okay. That was a long 9 o'clock hour. My goodness. Hey, coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, would you believe the wage gap between men and women in Washington is the second widest in the country? Let's talk about it next. Gee and Ursula.
Join in on the conversation by sending a text to 888-973-5476. That's 888-973-KIRO.
Ever wonder how much energy it takes to power your life? Streaming shows, running appliances, even using AI to plan your next trip?
A lot, and it's growing fast.
So we need more energy, and it has to be clean and reliable.
Exactly. That's why Energy Northwest is exploring new ways to keep power flowing sustainably to meet the rising demand.
All this new technology is exciting, but we need the energy to keep up.
And Energy Northwest is making it happen.
Where do I learn more?
Energy-Northwest.com.
Energy Northwest, powering our clean energy future.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Hartley here from Wilcox Farms. For over 100 years, my family's been committed to doing what's right. At Wilcox Family Farms, that means caring for our hens with healthy pasture environments and a diet of organic grains and flax seeds. It's how we produce eggs that are wholesome, flavorful, and good for you. Next time you're at an egg case in your local store, we hope you feel good about choosing Wilcox eggs. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Owie, wowie!
What's with the
water heater's worn out?
Way less hot water?
Takes a lot longer, too.
Sounds like a goner.
Worst of all,
what?
Wasn't planning on it.
We can help.
Apollo Plumbing.
Ready right now to get you
in hot water.
Same day.
Not this day. My budget.
How about with easy payments?
How much easy?
Around $50 a month with approved credit.
A new water heater?
50 gallons of 100% hot water delight.
For about $50 a month.
51, 52 to be precise.
And you can do it
today, if that's what you need.
Is it ever?
Apollo installs new ones with code upgrades.
Can't beat that.
Actually, I can.
What?
Your same-day water heater replacement includes Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which means?
Apollo Plumbing covers your new water heater for life.
You mean should it ever wear out?
Apollo Plumbing replaces it free.
And if it needs service?
Service is included for our A-list members.
Wow!
Your new water heater is ready
right now
at ApolloPlumbing.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-518-3899. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-518-3899. That's 800-518-3899. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Peter King. U.S. officials tell CBS News one crew member has been rescued after the shoot-down of an American F-15 fighter jet in southern Iran. It's unclear yet as to whether a second pilot was aboard. President Trump has yet to address the shoot-down publicly. CBS's Linda Kenyon.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says only that the president has been briefed after Iran claimed it shot down the U.S. fighter jet. The incident follows President Trump's address to the nation this week, during which he reiterated his assertions that the U.S. has obliterated Iran's attack capabilities, including its Navy and its Air Force. The president also said the war will be over very soon, but questions remain over whether this incident will impact that outcome. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
More on the rescue teams from CBS News national security analyst Aaron McClain.
So there's a whole community of the United States military and of our Special Operations Command that doesn't get as much press as like the Navy SEALs and the Delta Force and guys like that. There's an Air Force Special Operations Command and a pararescue unit within that is dedicated to these kinds of missions. Those guys have been in the region, essentially staged and waiting for something like this. This is, not to be flippant about it, but this is game day for them.
Pope Leo is celebrating his first Easter season as Pope, traditionally, and by addressing the war. CBS's Chris Livesay in Rome.
This week, imploring world leaders and President Trump by name to find an off-ramp to the war in Iran.
Hopefully he's looking for a way to decrease the amount of violence, of bombing, which would be a significant contribution to removing the hatred that's being created and that's increasing constantly in the Middle East and elsewhere.
A favorable jobs report from the Labor Department with about 178,000 new jobs added to the economy last month. That comes after 133,000 losses in February. CBS's Kelly O'Grady.
One area particular that was strong is healthcare. That's something that we've seen traditionally. And that, by the way, is why we saw such a big bounce back from February, because there was that Kaiser Permanente strike in healthcare, which really brought the February jobs number down.
The Artemis II crew is waking up with a busy day ahead as their Orion spacecraft coasts to a Monday rendezvous with the moon. Retired astronaut Chris Cassidy.
Right now, with the risk of the launch, the risk of the TLI burn kind of now behind them in the rearview mirror, now they're focused on running the systems through their paces. And that's as simple as using the facilities, bathroom, breathing the air. That the life support system is absolutely a critical piece of the test of the whole mission.
On Wall Street, the markets are closed for the Good Friday holiday. This is CBS News.
The stars shine brighter on CBS Morning.
This is a slam dunk.
So cute. Gail came in singing for me today.
On CBS Mornings.
A fire in Tacoma at an apartment building has turned fatal. We'll tell you all about that in just a moment. But first, we're going to check KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. And I'm going to call it No Big Deal Friday, NBDF. It is very light out there, almost a speed limit drive anywhere you want to go. Linwood to Seattle, 17 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, now 23 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, 16 minutes. Linwood to Bellevue, 20 minutes. And so I want to give you a heads up. There will be some traffic issues in the DuPont area. I-5 closes tonight and Saturday for bridge demolition. It's going to be closed 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. There's going to be detours, but we're told to expect miles-long stop-and-go traffic approaching the work zone. This report is brought to you by KIRO Newsradio.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. Crews are rolling up their hoses after knocking down a fire at an apartment building in Tacoma, but not before it claimed a life.
The person who died was pulled from a third-floor unit here at this apartment complex. The fire was in the floor of that unit. It also affected the apartment below. The whole building had to be evacuated, so you had people out here in their pajamas. They woke up to firefighters telling them to get out. They had to rush out with their cats and carriers and their dogs on leashes. The cause of the fire is under investigation, and crews are here on scene now just in case this thing flares up. In Tacoma, Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Still no sign of an inmate who escaped from Western State Hospital earlier this week. Police believe Joshua Dylan Rice climbed out of his window and jumped the fence. It is unwelcome news for Jeremiah Traxler, who tells KIRO 7 TV he was carjacked at random by Rice in the case that sent the now fugitive to Western State originally.
He starts punching me in my face over and over and over and over.
You can see a photo of Rice at mynorthwest.com. Dozens of campsites and trails will be closed across the state after cuts signed into law by Governor Bob Ferguson earlier this week. A spokesperson for the Department of Natural Resources tells the Seattle Times they're finalizing that closure list still. Other sites may see less maintenance or partial closures. Fintech company Robinhood is jumping into the legal fight over prediction markets and state gambling laws.
The company has filed a lawsuit against the state of Washington in what is essentially a preemptive move, coming after the state attorney general Nick Brown sued the prediction market Kalshi. These markets let users essentially win or lose money on what are known as event contracts, predicting everything from election results to what the president will say at the White House Easter egg roll. Puget Sound Business Journal reports the lawsuit from Robinhood is asking for an injunction to bar the state from regulating the company's event contract trading. John Rapp, KIRO News Radio.
And we got some good news for Husky basketball. The University of Washington has reached a deal to keep women's coach Tina Langley through the 2031-2032 season. Of course, she helped bring back the team from 4 years of losses, and they went to the NCAA tournament this year. Now your weather forecast. A few sprinkles to start the day, but dry for the rest of it. High of 57, high of 61 tomorrow, and mostly sunny. It's 46 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Oh, yeah. It's Fresh Fridays here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Ursula, I thought that we were supposed to get some good weather this weekend. What's happening?
I thought there was going to be more sun, and I think it's going to come on Sunday, I believe, and Monday.
Saturday and Sunday is the prime of it. This is just the calm before the storm right now.
Yeah, and it might not be as sunny as earlier predicted on Saturday. I think that's what I heard Nick Allard say.
Mm-hmm.
I got to go back on that, but Monday for sure. And I think Sunday's going to be perfect for Easter brunch, Easter egg hunting.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, I'm curious.
Yeah.
I've got two questions for everybody listening right now. What is a must when it comes to Easter brunch? Because I'm hosting this year. So what is a must for the Easter brunch table?
Where are you ordering from?
You're funny, Met Market. We're actually having a potluck.
Oh.
So we're having a Easter brunch potluck.
So when you all have potlucks,
it's just my sister and I bringing stuff.
Okay.
We don't have a big
but this is serious though.
Mm-hmm.
When you all have potlucks, do you say, "Hey, we're having a potluck"? But here's kind of
yes.
Okay.
So
the theme.
What I said
What'd you say?
is I'm going to be offering quiche and all the drinks and pastries that are both vegan friendly because we'll have some vegans and just pastries. And then my sister came through with some other stuff. You don't like quiche?
I'm just keeping it about. It's not that I don't like it. I mean, it's cool, but.
It's
if
Easter brunch,
if somebody were to call me and be like, "Yo, having quiche, potluck," I don't even know what to bring to that. What do you bring?
You know what? My
when somebody's
sister
what's she
immediately,
bringing?
within 10 seconds,
What'd she say?
said, "Okay, I'm going to bring potato hash brown scramble something or other."
Oh, that's perfect with a
yes,
quiche. Yeah.
exactly. And she said, and bacon, crispy bacon, both
so
turkey and regular bacon.
What time is this at? In the morning?
Yeah, before noon.
Okay.
I said brunch.
Okay. That's cool. Okay, I feel it. I feel it. For some
Well,
reason.
now I'm starting to second guess my choice.
No. For some reason in my mind, because the last segment we talked about
Parties at 3 o'clock.
Yes.
No.
So,
This one is a family brunch.
I stand.
Yes. Am I good with
yes.
quiche?
I stand corrected. Yes.
It's basically an egg pie.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like a staple with Easter's, you have to have eggs.
I thought we were talking about after church, afternoon. My bad, Ursula. In the morning time, we good. Yeah, we good.
Okay. Well, I want to hear though from everybody. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, because I want to add to this brunch. The brunch offerings, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. What else should be on there?
Okay, you need something. Y'all, I ain't heard anything sweet. You know what I'm saying?
Like pastries.
Nah, that ain't enticing. I need some pancakes, some French toast.
Maybe a little French toast.
You can't just be like
okay.
Because see, when you say pastries,
I'm talking maple bars.
Didn't say that. You know what I'm saying? Pastries makes me think of an intercontinental breakfast. And you got a little of this. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, text in more suggestions. And then the other thing is, what is your favorite Easter candy?
None of it.
Okay, I know. We're all good now.
We never mentioned Peeps yesterday. Are we fans of those or not?
I can't stand Peeps. I'm sorry. They're so disappointing. They look so cute and so fun, and they taste terrible.
But everyone says they hate Peeps, and yet it's one of the biggest sellers. So the math ain't math.
For the aesthetic, for the vibe, they're cute.
Okay, 888-973-5476, 888-973. KIRO.
Shout out to everybody texting in saying bring deviled eggs.
Love deviled eggs.
For sure.
Little paprika on top. Oh yeah.
Yes.
So you need to settle a debate, because there's some people in this building that don't like deviled eggs, and there is currently a poll, literally a poll downstairs on a whiteboard polling.
I saw downstairs they've got the tallies. Yes is winning right now.
Who doesn't like deviled eggs?
I'll tell you.
Ursula, you don't like deviled eggs?
I've probably had them twice in my life.
All right, let's get to the news.
What's new at 10?
Okay, we're going to talk about the gender wage gap, because it's not getting smaller, especially here in Washington. And this is according to the state standard. They did an analysis this month, and it showed that the wage gap actually between men and women is the second largest in the country. We are only second to Utah. Specifically, women in Washington earned a median income more than $18,000 less than their male counterparts. And for women of color, the Latina women earned an estimated $37,000 a year less than white men. And so the Washington Women's Commission is looking to understand why these gaps are happening. One of the easiest explanations is that we are a state that is still heavily in the tech industry, and the tech industry, tech jobs are still dominated by men, and those are some of the highest paying jobs.
Right.
So that's one of them. But I'm curious to hear what you think of hearing that here in the state of Washington, we are second just to Utah.
I have a lot of reasons, right? But let me start with the main reason. One of the reasons why it's not people, it's ideas. And here's what I mean. We can go all to the stats, and you make a great point about the tech. And I had another angle I was going to come with, but I decided to change. Right now, if I ask this question, if there was a man and woman doing the same job, do you believe that the man should make more money because it's the man? Now, here's the thing. You would never write that down. You would never type that. You would never come out and just say, yes, I believe that. But here's the truth. The truth is so many people believe that if it's a man and a woman, automatically the man should make more money. As a matter of fact, whether it's a relationship, the man should be making more money. Whether it's a job, the man should be. So until you want to know when things are going to start getting better, which I think they will, further down the road, when the idea starts to actually shift to being like, hey, women should be able to make just as much money. So when that idea changes, and by the way, most of the people that set the salaries are men. Duh.
Yes. And there are other components and components that people don't really talk about out loud, but I wanted to throw them out there and see what you think. But, much of my observation obviously has to come from here because this is where I've spent pretty much my entire career.
Going on 38 years.
Yes, exactly. 37, 38. You're right, G.
Going on 30, and it's older than Sophia. Older than Nick.
Yep. That's right. Gee, you're so good about that. Okay, but in any case, so, my observations, a couple of things. One, there are biases. Like you said, people just automatically think you're a dude, so you should be. There are biases, right? Yeah, and then the other thing is, for example, for the longest time, we were told no one wants to hear a woman giving her opinion on a talk show.
Some still believe like that.
Pardon me?
Some people still believe that.
Exactly. I mean, talk to the women who work in sports. I am really fortunate that I don't get that very much.
No, you
Have
don't.
You noticed? I don't get that.
You don't get that.
But it's only taken decades.
But they do over there.
They do.
They do.
But that was where there were managers that flat out said that out loud.
Since you've been here?
Since I've been here.
What'd they say?
They don't work here now.
What'd they say to you?
But they said, yeah, unfortunately, studies have shown and research has shown that people don't tune in to hear women give their opinions. And it's all about the ratings. I mean, think about it. So that's one.
You think that carries over in other areas too?
Absolutely. So some people have a much harder time with a woman as a boss. Some people have a much harder time. But here's where I think women also contribute to it. Okay, and before I go on, I know that for a lot of times people will say, well, the only reason there's this wage gap because you're not considering that women also take time off when they have kids, which is true.
And who's usually the one that should stay home with the kids? The idea.
The idea is, and there's still a stigma attached to men staying home with the kids. It's like, what? It's getting better, but it's still there. But these are the things that I want to throw out that we don't talk about enough is that I will put a sweeping statement out and say that we as women are not as good about negotiating our salaries as men are. I think we've gotten better, but in my experience, I have seen men who will walk into a job and say, of course I can host a show with having zero experience. Where
Hey, now.
You were a natural. But bosses will be more willing to give you a shot than a woman who may have a lot more experience.
I agree. Oh, I know. I agree with that.
This is truth.
Last week, I kind of touched on it. I touched on a little male privilege. I was off the air.
Yes.
I talked about there's some privilege that you can kind of find. I agree with that.
Yes. But the other part of it is women, I think, as a whole, are much more like, maybe maybe that would be really bodacious if I actually thought that I could do something like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like we sometimes will undercut ourselves when it comes to negotiation, when it comes to pitching. Why can't I do that?
Right. I agree. I'm sitting here. This is my time of, I'm smart. Sometimes I got to just listen. You know what I'm saying?
But I want to know if anyone else agrees with me because again, I'm looking at it from the experiences that I've had here, the experiences that I've had with other women in other fields who have talked to me about the same thing, and then things that I have read. But I would like to know in your experience. I mean,
now, I just want to say I think the biggest problem and one of the biggest reasons why this wage gap continues to stay wide, and it's widening sometimes, is so in sports, we know exactly how much money the quarterback makes. We know how much money the public officials, elected officials make. But in the private sector, it should be known how much everybody makes. But instead, when you're in there with negotiations, hey, I need you to keep this salary a secret. And when they say things like keep this salary a secret, it is designed to overpay some and extremely underpay a lot. That's why the system remains. So in the private sector, this is why you might be sitting next to somebody literally doing the same job. The same job. And the person next to you makes $60,000 more a year.
Yes. And you know that now in our state, employers with 15 or more employees must disclose salary ranges and scales.
That ranges is still sketchy.
I know. Well, the other thing that happens, the other thing that happens that's shady, in my opinion, is you just change the job title a little bit. It's the exact same job. It's the exact same responsibilities, but you can get away with not paying the same if you have different titles, because this classification goes with this salary and this one, even though it's exactly the same job. So I guess anyone listening to this right now, especially young people like Sophia right here, young women. I'm trying to mentor Sophia.
I know, you're doing a good job. Sophia, why you laughing?
I'm not laughing. I do think elements of this conversation, like I think people can resonate with a lot of this, because it is seen across so many industries, and it's definitely something that I think young people, young women specifically, are working with. And something that I heard one time was, whenever you need confidence to approach a situation, you got to pretend you have the audacity of a mediocre man, because even the most mediocre of man has a confidence that maybe women aren't raised to feel. I don't know. Is that a crazy thing to say? Maybe that was a sweeping statement.
I was stuck on the mediocre man. I would just say, have the confidence of a dude who's going in there asking for the same thing.
Sure, but I mean, my thing is, they don't necessarily need to be more talented than you are.
Yes, this is
they
true.
Just have the audacity.
She felt like stabbed.
I just want to say.
Staying quiet.
I just want to say that mediocre man. Can I expound on that one? But I'm choosing joy.
I'm choosing
joy.
And me too.
And some of you guys know G very well when you talk about the mediocre man. Have we not been seeing mediocre on display? Okay, continue, Ursula.
Okay, hey, let's switch it up though. Yeah. Okay, I want to hear everybody's comments on this, because I'd like this conversation.
A lot of folks
we can
been
continue.
feeling your quiche, but go ahead.
Yeah, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Okay, I want to mention the reset, because you've got a new show, and you talk about changing your mind about the Seahawks going on Hard Knocks. I want to share this.
I want to see other teams' drama. I don't want to see anything that could be looked at and viewed as negative with the Seahawks. But I had a change of mind. I think our country needs to see what the Seahawks are doing. I think that the standard with the Seahawks right now is second to none. They are on point from top to bottom. And we look at other teams and what they are going through, and some of the superstar situations, and maybe coaches and players not on the same page, players and coaches and front office, and just there's just not really on the same page. And so when I think about what the Seahawks are doing, this recipe is incredible. So sure, I think the standard of excellence is so well that it needs to be documented. It needs to be seen.
Yeah,
that's a turnaround.
I changed my stance, because I was telling you guys off the air I wasn't really feeling it when it comes to the Seahawks being on Hard Knocks. But then again, you know what? I think our young generation needs to see it. And what usually happens is, and by the way, I can say this now, these young men that are on this Seahawks team are really at a standard of excellence, because I think the culture is incredible. And so, sure, you guys say, gee, of course you're going to be Team Seahawks. Well, let me ask you a question. In the last year or so, tell me something negative that a Seahawk player has done off the field. Nothing.
They've been really good.
You see what I'm saying?
It's been really good.
So that tells you that you have a bunch of young men that understand
the importance of not just on the field excellence, but what you do off the field. There are other teams, the Rams, the San Francisco 49ers, they are dealing with negativity off the field, and I want these young men and women to see the standard of when you have routine, which I talked about earlier. I want people to see behind the scenes of why JSN is as good as he is on the field, why Devin Witherspoon is as good as he is off the field. What is the magic that John Schneider has? Why does he keep drafting so well? Why does the free agents that come in here, Sam Darnold, play so well? What is going on with the Seahawks? And by the way, that G. Scott last year at the beginning of the season did not think the Seahawks would do well in the season.
It's true.
They won a Super Bowl.
I know. Okay, how can people catch the reset?
Oh, go to the YouTube. The Reset with G. Scott. You can see it, episodes every Thursday. By the way, we're going to come back next, and we're going to talk about quiche. That's a big hot topic. But more importantly, 4-day work week. 4-day work week. Are you with it or no? We'll do that next. Gee Ursula.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Hi, Sarah here with Safeway. We're proud to partner with Champions of Change co-founder Doug Baldwin to help nourish Washington students through the Nourishing Champions program.
Thanks, Sarah. And here's the reality. Every day, students across our state are staying after school for extracurriculars on empty stomachs, and some of them don't know where their next meal will come from. Food insecurity is reaching crisis levels, and the impact on our youth will extend far beyond this moment. The good news is that there's an answer in the federally funded after-school meals programs. But right now, Washington schools' participation is very low, reaching only 2% of the students who qualify.
That's where Nourishing Champions comes in. We're offering grants that not only fund food, but also resource and training support for the schools to offer an after-school meal program for years to come.
Our goal is to reach 10,000 more students in the first year of these grants and then grow from there. School staff can learn more and apply today at championsofchangefoundation.org and navigating to the Nourishing Champions tab. That's championsofchangefoundation.org and click on the Nourishing Champions tab.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I'd been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
It's cold outside, and if you're noticing it's taking forever to heat your home, there are cold spots in certain rooms, your furnace turns off and on a lot, or it never stops, or maybe your energy bill is just way too high. These are all warning signs that your home needs a blanket. There may be something wrong with your insulation, which means not only are you uncomfortable in your own home, but you could be wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars a year in lost energy. Call Insulation Northwest today, and we'll send one of our professionals to give you a fast, free energy inspection to determine if there is a problem. And if there is a problem, we can fix it fast. Most jobs are completed in one day. You have nothing to lose. The inspection is free and only takes about an hour and could save you thousands. Keep the heat in, the cold out, and your energy bill low. Call Insulation Northwest today. Insulation Northwest, the real insulation company.
Please ask if you qualify for thousands of dollars of free rebates from your energy company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. You know the one question that guys hate to have asked of them by their wives, Nick?
I can take a good guess.
I know you know 100 of them. This is the worst one. Do these jeans make my butt look big?
Whoa.
Can't answer that one, right? What I've noticed is whenever you ask me questions like that, I just simply say, oh, I don't know. What did the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic say?
Well, the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic would tell me that my butt looks great in those jeans now that my hormones are balanced.
What'd they do? Did they give you something to bring your weight down?
No, just a result of having my hormones balanced caused me to lose weight. Who would have known? I had no idea that would be a result of it.
So that's good. So the answer is you look great. You're beautiful.
I feel great. I look great.
Yeah.
And I know it.
I've also noticed that your testosterone makes you a little feistier than you normally are as my beautiful Greek wife.
I might be small, but I have a loud bark.
Yes, you do. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Home is more than a place to live. It's where the best of life unfolds, where possibility sparks, where community grows, where lives take shape. At the Master Builders Association of King and Snohomish Counties, that belief drives the work our builders, remodelers, and tradespeople do every day. Because when we build more homes, we're building so much more than housing. We're making room for what matters most. Learn more at roomforwhatmatters.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
U.S. officials say one pilot has been rescued after the shoot-down of what Iran claimed was an F-15 fighter jet. CBS's Charlie Daggett says Iranian media have been showing pictures for hours.
Iranian state broadcaster aired footage, what they said was wreckage of a downed jet, and that wreckage was found in central Iran. In fact, one of the images appears to show an ejection seat.
The F-15 can carry a crew of 2, but it's not clear yet as to whether there was a second crew member aboard the jet. CBS News national security analyst Aaron McLean says fighter pilots are well trained for the possibility that they might wind up behind enemy lines.
Their training is to escape and evade. Their job is to stay away from the bad guys long enough that the rescuers can get to them. And the human terrain down there, are you dealing with people who are friendly to the regime, or are you dealing with people hostile to the regime? That's obviously a factor, but kind of hard to know in advance because you don't know exactly who it is you're going to meet down there.
CBS News Special Report. I'm Peter King.
And I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio. The president's 2027 budget asks for $1.5 trillion in defense spending. That's a 44% increase that covers a pay increase for troops, a Golden Dome missile defense system, and money for ICE, among other things. The budget continues cuts for the Department of Education. Amazon is adding a new fee that could impact prices. CBS's Stacey Lynn has more.
The company says it will begin charging third-party sellers a 3.5% fuel surcharge, citing rising energy and shipping costs. Amazon says until now, it's been absorbing those higher prices, but will now tack it on for sellers. They may in turn pass that increase on to you, the customer.
The fee takes effect on April 17th. A team of fourth graders from John Stanford International Elementary in Seattle celebrating a big win. They took home the Global Reading Challenge Championship Trophy on Tuesday night. That's the first time the school has won it in decades. Now we're going to check your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, and we're still looking very good, although we do have an issue on I-90 eastbound. It's just west of the Mount Baker Tunnel. Just west of the Mount Baker Tunnel before you go across the span. There's a disabled vehicle blocking the left lane, and I'm seeing some significant slowing heading to that, but it's not lengthy slowing. And once you get past it across the bridge, it's smooth sailing. Federal Way to Seattle, 23 minutes, and about the same in the other direction, even with that Ship Canal construction closure. Linwood to Seattle, like I said, 17 minutes. Linwood to Bellevue, also 17 minutes. And this report brought to you by Global Credit Union. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. We're going to stay pretty dry for the rest of the day. Mostly sunny tomorrow and a high of 61, 65 degrees by Sunday with some high clouds, but mostly sunny. It is 48 degrees in downtown Seattle right now. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show on this Fresh Friday. And I gotta say, of all the topics that we have discussed, there is one that was just a throwaway.
Yeah.
At the beginning of this hour, you were asking me what I was going to serve for Easter brunch.
Yeah.
And I said quiche, which now that we established, it's going to be before noon, so that works. And so everyone is giving me great suggestions as to what should go with it. Mm-hmm. Salad and fruit. And you brought up the deviled eggs. My sister's bringing the bacon, but we do have also a few vegans. So because now you are very much into the plant-based diet.
I've been into the plant-based.
What
and
else
Sophia.
should I offer? Because you said me saying pastries was not enough. But there's Mighty O donuts, by the way, for vegans. They love those, right?
Hey, by the way, here's the thing about the bacon, and I think Sophia can agree with this. If it's a special occasion, man, I might have to give me a piece of that bacon. You know what I'm saying?
You're a true vegan, no way.
That's why I don't say the word vegan.
Oh,
I say plant-based. And by the way, if you're plant-based and all that, you can have a little something from here and there. Even though I haven't lately, I have not.
Really? How long has this been going on?
3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 weeks. And so I'm not saying that I can't have something. I can have something whenever I want to. You know what I mean? But
because once I say I can't have something, then I'm obsessed.
Exactly. But a piece of bacon.
People are so all or nothing with the labels. Like, you can just make a lifestyle choice and it doesn't have to define you. You can be like, well, I mostly eat plants, but, like, you know,
every once in a while.
On game day, I eat hot dogs, you know? Like, there are people that have that. Like, I knew someone that was like, she was completely vegetarian, but on a night out, she had chicken nuggets. That was her thing. If she had too much to drink, she ended her night with chicken nuggets. That never changed.
I love it. Give yourself that out.
See, give yourself an out. You don't have to be locked into something, because sometimes you might get disappointed at the federal level. What do you got, Ursula?
You're too much.
Choose joy.
Okay, we're choosing joy. So we're going to talk about 4-day work weeks because, it's Friday. Are y'all checked out right now anyway? There's a new report in Fortune that says workers are getting as much done in a 33-hour week as they would in a, let's say, traditional 40-hour week or 38 hours.
Right.
So the idea is that the longer people work 4 days, the quicker they adapt to getting all their stuff done without productivity feeling the loss of that extra day. And the 4-day work week global report looked into the impact over an 18-month period. And in one study, around 60 companies, they looked at 3,000 employees. They tested out 4-day work weeks and found that there was a 65% reduction in sick days and a nearly 60% decline in the likelihood of an employee who would quit. So clearly it was a morale changer to only work 4 days a week.
Yeah. I think
they're not even talking about 4/10s, though. They're just saying 4 days, 32 hours or 33 hours.
Yeah, well, do 4/10s, whatever the case. Can we all agree that the whole Friday through Sunday is just not enough? First, you work on Friday, so you got to get off. So, and you woke up early in the morning or wherever your shift is, right? So what happens is you really you got to get cheated on your Friday, right? And then all you really get is that Saturday from beginning to end. You got all of Saturday. And on Sunday, what are you doing? You got half the day to get to yourself, but you got to shut it down early in preparation for Monday. Give folks that Friday off, Saturday off, or Sunday, or whatever your shift is. You should be able to get 3 days off. We say we care about mental health. Do we?
But you sounded like Sophia right then. Do we care about mental health? Yes. But are we prepared to all switch over? Because the way life is set up right now, it is a Monday through Friday setup.
Right.
So it would require some very different thinking.
Here's another way to look at it. And this goes towards we as employees or employers. I'm being truthful when I'm going to ask this. How much more production do you think you'd have a better employee if that employee was able to work 4 days a week as opposed to 5? Do you think that employee would get more done if they only had a 4-day work week?
Truly depends on the employee.
Well, it always depends on the employee.
Well, because, and I say that because then does 4 week now become, okay, that fourth day, that Thursday is going to be like my Friday. So that's going to be my casual day. That's going to be the day that I call in sick. That's, it all depends. There are people who will always find a way to, A, work the system, but B, do I think a 4-day week would be better? Absolutely. Because in my opinion, the Friday, recovering from the week, Saturday is not even a full day for me because I'm recovering from all the days I didn't sleep. So then I sleep. In on Saturday. By the time you get going, and then like you said, Sunday rolls around, you already feel like that creep of, Unless you're lucky enough to be one of those government employees that still has Monday and Friday as your remote work days.
Ooh, let me sip a little water right there on that one.
Because then you don't feel that, you still kind of feel like it's extended.
You think that's why we're having such a problem with accountability with money? Because they're working from home?
No, I'm not blaming that. I'm not going that far. Until I have proof, I have evidence. No, I think it's that problem that we discussed in the earlier hours is just a lack of safeguards, a lack of accountability, a lack of respect for taxpayers' money, and just this feeling like, hey, we've got the money, let's just throw it out. Let's make ourselves look good and look like we're actually doing something when we're not.
Sophia, you going to say something?
Yeah, I was also going to argue that Fridays, like you were saying, our society isn't adapted to the 5-day work week. I would say in a way we kind of almost are transitioning to a 5-day, like a 4-day work week.
Because of the pandemic.
Well, because of the pandemic and just, listen to what we were hearing about traffic. Everything's already lighter on Fridays. People are moving differently. And I do think we've seen, analyzing other cultures, how there's an emphasis on longer lunch breaks or more time for people to have time to breathe. They're actually more productive in the work they do. I don't necessarily think we're going to fall back if we have 4-day work weeks. I think people will feel more relaxed.
Go ahead, Ursula.
Well, I
just want to talk about this quiche.
I am personally someone who would love to try that.
Yeah.
So if our bosses want to try me on a 4-day work week, I'm willing to see if my mood gets better, if I'm more productive.
I'll say this. If the bosses are listening, probably not because it's Friday.
It's also Good Friday.
A lot of times, you know what makes a joke funny? When there's truth to it. If the bosses was to come to me and say, hey, G, listen, Ursula's now going on 38 years of being here. Would you be willing to let Ursula be off on Fridays? Yes.
It could be in the future.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
All right. Coming up next, no, we're not talking about Ursula and Quiche, but I just don't get it. Like, how did Quiche be the leader in the, hey, we're having Quiche for Easter?
Easter is Sunday, and everyone is also trying to figure out what are you going to... The thing with quiche, it's easy.
It sounds that way.
Especially since Matt Market is making it. And it's delicious. I stick it in the oven. People love it. We love it. And then I just need to enhance it with other things.
Y'all coming over? What we having, quiche?
I know. You'd be like finding another place to go get brunch.
Scenarios next. Gee Ursula.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO Newsradio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee.
Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most.
That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family is banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included.
Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi.
Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that.
Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber, connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Are you stuck staring at your W-2? Are tax refund worries holding you back? You probably have FOMO, the fear of messing up. The fix? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. It's time to overcome your fear of messing up and get your taxes done right. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-290-7100. That's 800-290-7100.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical,
there's no beating CM Heating.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief.
Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Advanced Hair Restoration, the simple one-day hair loss solution that's guaranteed to regrow your own natural hair. AdvancedHair.com. AdvancedHair.com.
You got World Cup tickets? Are you going to be going to the World Cup? Are you thinking of going to the World Cup? Well, coming up next, we're going to be talking about what we have learned from the first open sale. That happens next. But right now, scenarios.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
Boy, is this a doozy right here. One of my best friends started dating a guy a few weeks ago. She's been talking about him and is head over heels about this guy. But our circle of friends were pretty skeptical because she's always been a dating disaster. That's why she hasn't introduced him to any of us. There are 6 of us in our girl group. So finally, we convinced her that we should meet him. And she was excited about it. We all went to dinner. It started off all well. Things were good. But after dinner, the server brought the check and put it down in front of the guy. By the way, let me pause. You notice she put the check in front of the guy. That's that ideas. But anyway, he slid it over to her in front of all of us. She looked at him funny, and I overheard him say, this was your idea? I didn't really ask for this, so I shouldn't be expected to pay. I told my girlfriends, and we are voting that this loser get off the island. But she doesn't get it that this is a dating deal breaker. Is it right? I mean, what kind of guy does not pay in that situation or actually acts like that, especially just weeks into a new relationship? 888-973-5476, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Ursula, you have to bat first.
I feel like we have had a similar scenario. And first of all, they're dating just for a couple of weeks. I'm kind of annoyed with this friend group that is hassling the friend to have
You've been asking me about turning 50.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that there's a big difference between being smart and being wise.
Mm-hmm.
When you're smart, you know what to do. When you're wise, you know what and why not to do. And in this situation, this young man wasn't wise. He should have known you're putting yourself in a situation. You're going to agree to go out with the friend group. You're the only guy at the table. Bam. Most of the people around the table are expecting you to pay. That is going to be your way of showing, yes, I can take care of your friend. You should have never put yourself in that situation. If you were going to put in that situation, then you are preparing to pay. So you put yourself in that situation.
You're blaming him? So I'm blaming the friend group.
Yes, no, I'm blaming him for putting himself in that situation. You should have never been in that situation. Now, that's what's going to happen. If there's a guy, hey, my friend, he's coming out. My friends want to meet you. They want to see if you're right for me. You come out to dinner. There's all 6 of the girlfriends. There is an expectation that you're going to pay.
But he's been between a rock and a hard place because he wants to please the girl. So I think the new girlfriend, I think that something that could have happened would be that the couple, have that conversation before they go out to the dinner. Say, hey, let's make it clear that we're all going Dutch. This is not going to be it's on my tab.
Ursula, let your dog ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
What's the number one way that a man can impress a woman? No, come on, tell the truth now.
Character. Good character.
Very antiquated scenario.
Yes.
I'm not, and because I'm going to defend myself because you threw my friend group into this. When we had dinner with my roommate's boyfriend, he offered to make his dinner in our house, which everyone knows is very different
now
than him
that
paying
is impressive.
for dinner.
Yes.
I would never, ever expect a man to take care of a 7-person dinner just because he's the only man.
Or Sophia, hold on. Nick, go ahead, bro.
You know, full stop right here on this bad boy with the ladies, because this is so out of pocket to be expecting the dude to be paying for all of them as if they're assuming a free night out, because maybe it's different if it was just the two of them on a date, but this is a group. And on top of that, it was the ladies' idea, because I've met women who they tell me they expect me to pay if I'm the one asking them out with the idea. So young fella, you go ahead and slide that bill on over to them, since they're the ones who inspired this idea in the first place. I wouldn't even be trying to impress them anymore at that point. That would be such a turnoff for me to jump to conclusions like that.
Did you see Mac in Bellevue?
What'd Mac say?
Yeah, he said he's expected to pay for himself, the girl he's dating, and her 6 friends.
No.
Gee, that's potentially a $1,000 food bill. I've never been in this situation.
No.
Because Mac in Bellevue, you've been wise enough to not put yourself in that situation. Sophia, Ursula, can you guys answer this? Why did the server put the check in front of him?
That's because of gender norms.
And that's because that was a bad on the server.
That should not be that the women should be expecting him to pay in that situation. If there's 7 people, that's not.
No way.
You know what's crazy?
No
is that
way.
You guys try to act like things are different today.
Why
You guys
not?
act like one of the number one reasons and ways that men don't attract is money. It's money. It is. And
Text us.
And the ladies were rolling with the punches on that one, too. They were going to let it happen.
You guys know it's
But
money.
that's also an issue with the friend group. If I went out with 6 friends and I would never have the basis be that one person is paying.
I ain't never seen a boss lady with a dude that makes less than them and talking about, way less than them.
Well, that's because maybe the man has his own insecurities to deal with.
We
That's
gotta
a
get
different
out of here.
conversation.
More Gee Ursula Show next.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco bill, and auto pay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction or your money back. File today the easy way in the Credit Karma app.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Nothing but net. Nice shot. Man, I miss playing basketball. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
Lower testosterone?
Yeah, men just lose their edge after 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
Nugenix, the testosterone booster.
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula. It skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours and boosts your body's free and total testosterone in just 2 weeks. Since I started taking it, my energy is way up. I feel like I did back when we played for Coach Mac, and it's even spiced things up with my wife.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text SPIRAL to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text SPIRAL to 215-215. That's SPIRAL to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
April is a great time to grow your connection to nature. From native fir trees in your backyard to a thriving patch of flowers or a walk through your local arboretum, Sky Nursery supports your gardening journey with quality plants, supplies, and local knowledge. Visit skynursery.com.
You didn't work hard to watch your retirement unravel. You saved, you sacrificed, you built something meaningful for yourself and for your family. Hi, I'm elder law attorney Rajiv Nagaich. I've seen what happens when unexpected health events collide with traditional retirement plans. Savings that took decades to build drains away faster than anyone expected. At LifePoint Law, we help you build a life plan to help you protect your assets and way of life. If you are retired or thinking about retiring, now is the time to double-check your retirement plan.
Retirement doesn't have to feel like a gamble. With straightforward planning and clear answers, LifePoint Law replaces fear with clarity, but only if you start now. Attend the next seminar this Saturday in Bothell, April 7th in Bremerton, the 9th in Olympia, or the 11th in Federal Way. Seats are limited. Sign up now at lifepointlaw.com. Visit lifepointlaw.com.
The Mariners are honoring Ichiro with a statue outside T-Mobile Park on April 10th. And the first 40,000 fans will take home a replica of their own thanks to BDA, with 20 lucky fans scoring one signed by Ichiro himself. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. An American fighter jet goes down over Iran, and CBS Pentagon reporter Eleanor Watson has the latest.
U.S. officials confirmed to CBS there is a search and rescue. Now one member of the crew of the F-15 has been rescued by U.S. forces, we're told, while search and rescue is ongoing for the second member.
CBS News national security analyst and U.S. Marine veteran Aaron McLean says that the two-person crew has been trained for this scenario.
Even though you're sort of ejecting at more or less the same point in space and time from this aircraft it's a jet, right? It's going pretty fast. So these two people can come down on I'm going to assume here, I want to assume that the second crew member is also alive and got out of the aircraft alive. They might actually be pretty far apart on the ground when they land. They might be in different circumstances.
Iranian state media has reportedly broadcast that anyone who hands over the crew would be rewarded. The U.S. economy posted unexpectedly high job gains in March. According to new government data, 178,000 jobs were added, but CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says there are some sectors that are still losing jobs.
In terms of job losses, we continue to see the federal government lose positions, 18,000 fewer positions in the month of March. Since peaking in October of 2024, there are now 355,000 fewer federal government jobs. That's an 11.8% drop.
The unemployment rate has dipped to 4.3%. The White House has released details of President Trump's 2027 budget, the largest of its kind in decades. He wants $1.5 trillion in defense spending. And as CBS's Weijia Zhang reports,
in terms of this new proposal, we know that non-defense spending is going to be cut by about 10%, $73 billion. The president says that he wants to reduce or eliminate, quote, woke, weaponized, and wasteful programs.
The crew of Artemis 2 is officially on their way to the moon after firing up the main engine last night and pushing out of Earth's orbit. They've just awakened from a nap and will put the Orion capsule through its paces. Former NASA astronaut Chris Cassidy.
Imagine taking a road trip with your family in really smaller than a minivan. People say minivan, but when you put all the gear and equipment, there's not a whole lot of room. And in that same space, they have to exercise, they have to go to the bathroom, they have to sleep, they have to operate the vehicle. So privacy and space is something that is not a luxury for them. They have to give it to each other and operate for a week together in that really small space.
Wall Street is closed for Good Friday. This is CBS News.
Join Adriana Diaz and Kelly O'Grady for the perfect start to your weekend. Ease into your Saturday with CBS Saturday Morning on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Washington's Attorney General is suing the federal government over the recent mail-in voting executive order. We're going to tell you all about it in just a moment. But first, KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. And we are looking very good on the roads. It looks like we've cleared a disabled vehicle, or at least moved it to the side, that was on I-90 eastbound near the Mount Baker Tunnel. The backup there has dissipated. I-5 north and south still a little bit slow getting into downtown Seattle, but that's to be expected given that Ship Canal construction zone, although there is a little bit of a backup on that merge from the West Seattle Bridge. So not sure if there's something blocking there or if there's just a little frustrating merge. Everything else is looking great. Renton to Bellevue is a speed limit drive. The lake bridges are looking good. So is Everett and Tacoma.
This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. Washington is now suing the federal government over a new executive order on voting. Among other things, the order calls on Homeland Security to compile a list of verified U.S. citizens eligible to vote in each state. Here's Attorney General Nick Brown.
But this is patently unconstitutional. The Constitution makes clear that states and Congress control how elections are run. The president has no authority in this space. He doesn't get to decide.
23 other states have signed on. Our state has previously won a challenge to new mail-in voting rules in the past. The average price for gas across Washington is now $5.37 a gallon and $6.73 for diesel. Ouch. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports fuel prices for boats are also rising, which is expected to drive up the cost of seafood.
The average across Washington, $5.37 a gallon for regular gasoline, $6.73 for diesel. Patrick DeHaan, a petroleum analyst at Gas Buddy, says Americans have spent $10 billion extra on gas since the U.S. attacks on Iran. And
today's tally adds another $430 million to that $10 billion number. In fact, it was today's increase that pushed us beyond that $10 billion mark.
Also, gas stations in about a dozen states in the Midwest are expected to raise their prices 40 cents in one day. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
One person is dead in Tacoma after an apartment fire that happened just before 8 this morning. Catherine woke up to the alerts as firefighters evacuated her apartment building.
They could smell the smoke from inside, but nothing was really apparent on the outside until a bit later when smoke started coming out of the top floor.
Firefighters say the fire started in the third-floor apartment and a second-floor unit, and another one is also damaged. No word yet on what caused it. Sheriff's deputies and SWAT descended on a compound near Port Orchard on Thursday. They can't say much about that investigation, which is ongoing, but deputies arrested 10 people on unrelated warrants as they searched a cluster of houses, RVs, and vehicles all on that property. Now we're going to check your weather, and we're going to dry out throughout the day. Mostly sunny by Saturday and a high of 61. By Sunday, 65. It's 46 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Fresh Fridays. And I got to tell you, in choosing joy, I've been having so much fun with Sophia and Ursula.
Seriously.
It has been great. But I do want to give one shout out. And I know all you guys disagree with me, and that's fun. Look, by the way, it really is fun to have this conversation. But I got to give a shout out to my wife. And the reason why I do that is because my wife, for sure, did not get with me for some change. And I got to tell you this. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my view on this is all skewed. But I'll share this. I know how people treated me, whether it was family or loved ones, when I didn't have money in my pocket. And I know how they treat me now. I can literally feel the difference. There's a huge difference in how I'm treated. So, but again, my wife, when she got with me, the exception that I believe.
She saw the potential in your future.
Now, I want to say this, though.
Yes.
I'm not going to give her all the love because I think she saw potential. If she didn't see the potential,
everyone could see the potential.
She wouldn't have got with me then. So I'm not going to give her all the credit.
Oh, you can give her credit.
No,
I can't give her the credit.
She knew
but
when I showed up.
If anyone is
shorts.
listening, just tuning in right now, what are they talking about? In our scenarios, G made the sweeping statement that women. Basically,
I said the best
money
way is the best way to impress
extremely
a friend group.
important, to women, and the best way to impress would be to show that you have money. And you know what would be so unimpressive to me?
What's that?
If that dude felt compelled and forced to pay when he really didn't have the money and he didn't have the guts. I actually appreciate him more for saying, you know what?
Yeah.
That's not what I signed up for.
Yeah, that's some sort of puppet syndrome, I feel like. Yeah, you got to stand your ground.
And shout out to my wife for paying the first 2 dates.
Again, she saw the great potential. Okay, as always, we invite you to join us on our Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. And still one of the very popular topics is what I should be serving for Easter brunch. So again, keep those ideas coming in. 888-973-5476.
Yeah.
888-973 KIRO.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
And we are just a couple of months away from the World Cup. And if you want to be in the stands, it is going to cost. Would you, if you had a little extra money, want to be there in the stands? And how much would you be willing to pay? I know you, like if someone said, hey, Gee, come show up, because it's hard for you to have to pay for tickets. Because you've been pretty lucky.
Yes,
right?
I have been.
So I want to just say that as the premise.
Okay. Now, here's the thing. Also, Ursula, where it's unfair is, well, actually, there might be somebody from FIFA listening. I would totally pay $11,000. I mean, just in case they decide to pick me as one of their MCs or something like that. So, yeah, for sure, I would definitely pay. If I had it, no doubt about it. I'm down to go and play, that much money.
I am on the record as saying that if a ticket costs more than $500, there's a good chance I will not be attending whatever that event is.
Not true. There are some concerts that Ursula would pay $500 for. Not true. And by the way,
Kelly Clarkson potentially.
See,
really good seats. Chaka Khan.
Yeah,
Yes.
mine is about to be Olivia Dean. I need to go see Olivia Dean. That's going to happen. That's right. I'm pulling up on her.
Okay. Well, speaking of money, we are quickly approaching record gas prices here in the state of Washington. Probably not a surprise if you've gotten gas anytime recently. And Luke Ducey is here in studio. So what is happening? And I know there's some predictions that are a little startling.
They are, and those are some high altitude predictions. So let's put those to the side just for a second. Let's talk about that record. If we hit a record, it would be $5.56 a gallon for regular gas. We're pretty close. If you're driving to work this morning earlier, maybe you're driving around right now filling up the tank. AAA says the average right now across Washington is $5.37. We're really close to that. $6.73 for diesel right now on average. However, it depends on where you live, right? I had to fill up a little bit this morning. It didn't fill up all the way, and here's the reason why. At my local Shell station in West Seattle, I love the station, great people, and very nice, but $5.99 a gallon for regular gas. Diesel, $7.99. $8.
Yeah.
Wait. You said you didn't fill up. Why didn't you fill up?
Because it's too much.
You're hoping.
I wanted to buy dinner tonight and make that for my wife too, and I had to choose. I had to choose a little bit. So I filled up a little bit, and then
you said, no, being serious.
Yeah.
You decided, like, I'm not going to fill up that much, and what I'm going to do is, because I got to do some other stuff with the money.
That's right.
Huh. Have you heard that before from me, Ursula?
Yes.
Where people are making decisions and they can't put as much in the gas tank?
Yes, and with all due respect, Luke, I know that you're not in that dire of straits.
No.
But there are people who are, and the funny thing is, it's painful. It is painful to go to the pump, and sometimes I think, well, maybe I won't fill all the way, although now I'm not doing that since I did run out of gas recently. But never again. But you're thinking, well, maybe it's got to go down. So if I don't fill up right now, maybe it's going to be better, or maybe I'm going to find that I'm going to be close to Costco and I can get it for cheaper, or whatever. But people are making those decisions.
You might get it cheaper, but it's not going down.
Why is gas so expensive, Luke?
Well, we'll get there. I'm not going to. I'm not. You have the answer to that.
Yes. Well, it's right now. We actually talked to Todd Myers from Washington Policy Center yesterday. I don't know if you heard the interview, but if anyone was listening, because we talk ad nauseum about the Climate Commitment Act and the gas taxes, which are both ridiculous
That's
here in the
what
state
he
of
wants me to
Washington.
say, by the way. That's what Gee wants me to say.
No, but but Todd Myers, who again, Washington Policy Center, was saying, no, what we're seeing right now is a direct response to the war in Iran. It is absolutely what is happening right now. And we were already high but it's now just that much higher.
Yes, and here's this high altitude look now that we're talking about, to kind of answer your question right there as well, because other parts we're in this bubble, this West Coast bubble, where we've got taxes that drive those costs up and other costs as well. But the rest of the country is going to start seeing that. So, according to Patrick DeHaan at Gas Buddy, he is their top petroleum analyst, $10 billion. Remember that figure, okay? That's how much extra Americans have paid for gasoline since the U.S. attacks on Iran. We tacked on another $430 million in one day today to drive that up as well. Now, back to those, there are a number of states, 11 states across the Midwest that are underwater right now. What that means is the wholesale prices for gas and diesel are way up. They are shooting through the roof, but those stations until now have not increased their prices. So they've been losing money every time someone fills up at the pump. Well, guess what? They've got to change that, and they're changing that today. So across these 11 states in the Midwest, they are going to see spikes of up to 40 cents per gallon in some places. So it's not going to be as high as we are, but we always think, oh, the rest of the country is so low compared to our gas prices. Not anymore. They're shooting up. Now, we're going to shoot up, too, at the same time. However, he also said, check this out, we're at about $200 a barrel of gas. Before the war with Iran started, we were at $100 a barrel. And we kind of jokingly this morning on Seattle's Morning News said, what if it went to 300? And he said, no, that's what we're thinking. It could go to 300. If that happens, we're talking about perhaps global recession. That's what we're talking about. This is going to affect everyone. Jet fuel prices are up 100% as well. You're just seeing operation costs like baggage fees. United just upped theirs as well, along with JetBlue, to help offset, $10 a bag. But that's nothing. I mean, more and more experts are saying now you're going to see ticket prices go up because stock prices are going down for airlines as well. But it's happening to the rest of the world. We're kind of sheltered here, but we're going to start, according to these analysts, start seeing more and more impacts to us, especially seafood now. All those commercial fisheries up and down Puget Sound on the West Coast. I was reporting on that today. You're going to see your seafood prices go up. It's Copper River salmon season comes mid-May.
It's already expensive to begin with.
It's already expensive.
Yeah.
I wish I can go back to Luke Ducey's reporting on the Monday after the Saturday when this first started. And the reason why is because I made sure during that time to take screenshots of the text messages that were coming in the very beginning of all of this. And I'm curious, it's kind of strange, Ursula, that those text messages that I took a screenshot of, those same comments don't come in. And here we are, I think we are on week 4, going into week 5 of this conflict. And we're seeing where gas prices are now. And we are seeing the impact that this is going to have on everyday people here in this country.
The craziest, you're right, G. The craziest thing to me, though, is we talk about how expensive it is, yet I'm wondering, are there people actually cutting back on their driving? Are there people who are cutting back? Because I know when it comes to traveling by air, you see the airports are still so crowded. People are still looking to buy tickets. Even though prices have gone up, it's just somehow...
That's about to slow down. These prices are going up on plane tickets as we speak.
Yes.
That is about to slow down. And with the gas prices the way that they are, look, I just love the fact that Luke Ducey was very transparent and made the comment like, I did not fill up. That right there is a sign right there that there are a lot of people who will not fill up this week because sometimes you don't want to put all of your money into the tank. And the reason why I get so emotional and triggered about this very topic, because I've talked about this, literally making life decisions at the gas pump, coming up, planning your day. It's a real thing. And unfortunately, I know that feeling. I know what it feels like. Literally, as I'm talking about this, I could feel it.
It's a stress.
Just knowing that there are people, our neighbors in our community, that will be feeling this, I know that pain.
Well, traditionally, too, Luke, the gas prices go up around this time of year because of, after Memorial Day, travel
and summer fuel mixes
yes.
as well. They put some additives that you didn't know it. They put additives in your fuel so to cut down on condensation because it gets hotter and they don't, obviously you don't want that to happen to your car. But yeah, absolutely right. So prices are going up for other reasons as well. But usually you can bear those things out. You're right. I as I was thinking about, and thank God is probably the way I would say it. I grew up Catholic. that I was filling up, and I can decide, okay, I'm going to fill up this much, and it's not going to break my bank necessarily. It's not going to, but yeah. I think about that every time I go to the pump now, the people that maybe have to make decisions over whether or not a bill gets paid, or you get, it's still chilly out, the heat gets paid, or gas, summer trips, that's one thing, kids want to go to Disneyland. You can drive there to California, make a fun day of it, stop along the way to see other things, and maybe that doesn't happen. If you fly there, that could be more expensive too.
Yeah. I want to hear though from you listening right now. Text us 888-973-5476 888-973 KIRO. Have you had to make some different choices and decisions, and what have those been? Because I think if we share those stories, we're gonna. Yeah,
I'm glad you asked that, because I'm gonna tell you where a lot of people are gonna be really hit. These small business owners. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of people deciding like extra, and like Luke just said, he talked about the potential of a recession. The fastest way for that to happen is when people start to say, hey, this weekend we were going to do this, but you know what, we're not going to be able to do that. Yeah, the people, the very small percent at the top 10%, they can just go on life as usual. The bottom 90% in this country sometimes are going to be making decisions.
Luke, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Luke.
Have a great weekend.
You take care. Love that hoodie you got.
Have you have you seen the body cam footage of Tiger Woods?
Yes.
So it has now been released by the sheriff's office there in Jupiter Island, Florida. But you can hear what he said and see what he said after that rollover crash last week.
I was looking down at my phone, doing a look at changing stations, and next thing you know, boom.
And in that conversation, he also said this.
Hey, just keep you down here with us, please. Yeah, I was just talking to the president.
So he had called the president after this rollover accident in the middle of the daytime. And if you see the video, you see that he's hiccuping. He's got the hiccups. He's lethargic. He's yawning. And he just looks out of it. And he's now, they ended up finding 2 pills in his pocket. Mm-hmm. I was actually really impressed with the officers who responded, who even after he said, well, they know who he is. Yeah. And the dude's a legend. And he says he's talked to the president. Yeah. And they were like, well, I think there's enough evidence here. Yeah. We're going to arrest you.
Yeah. He's only a legend to Gen Z. Excuse me. He's only a legend to Gen X and baby boomers. The young generation they don't know anything but the Tiger Woods that just seems to be just a tragic mess.
So sad, actually.
Harvey Dent said something in Batman. And you guys know the saying. I've said it before. I'll say it again. He said in Batman, Harvey Dent, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And unfortunately for Tiger Woods, when his name comes up, by the way, I've seen this before with some people where at one point in time they were celebrated, and then at the very end, for some reason, just, I don't know. But with Tiger Woods, we're not going to be talking about his Masters wins. We're not going to be talking about all the great stories and the comebacks and Tiger Woods wearing the red shirt on Sundays and the fist pumps and all that. We're going to be talking about this. Tragic Tiger Woods.
Do you think this wipes away all the
I'm not saying
achievements?
I'm not saying it doesn't wipe it away. But
because I don't. I look at him as first of all, inexcusable for him to get back behind the wheel while under the influence, even though he's now pleaded not guilty to charges of DUI and other charges. But this isn't the first time that has happened to him. No. He's been in other accidents.
Right. He's
got this problem.
Right.
He has umpteen amount. Is it billions of dollars? Yeah. He is a billionaire.
Right.
There is no excuse for him to get behind the wheel other than you see how it is an illness. And he needs desperate help.
I was just talking to the president. Watch this. I'm going to test the theory. Hey, Gen Z, Sophia, what's your thoughts on Tiger Woods?
Yeah, the first time I ever heard about Tiger Woods was his very first DUI. And when was that, 2008? And then I hadn't heard much about him until now.
Wow. Okay, Nick, You know, you know his achievements.
I'm a little bit older than Sophia, so I remember his accomplishments, but I'm disagreeing with you, Ursula. I think his accomplishments are tarnished based on what he's done in these last recent years. Kind of reminds me of another guy who got acquitted from his crimes because of his athletic celebrity status back in the 90s. I won't say his
text
name,
us 888-973-5476 888-973 KIRO. I mean, again, zero excuses. It's pathetic that he got behind the wheel, and he's lucky this time he didn't hurt anybody, including himself.
Yeah. Coming up next, agree to disagree. Gee Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes. Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO Newsradio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app.
Deep to right field. Going, goodbye baseball.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a view that's a real home run, check out right field. Make that the dump yard. Sure, it's a great spot to see our fearless outfielders fly, dive, and slide.
Wow! Victor Robles makes the catch!
But you might get to flash some leather too, because the forecast in the dump yard always calls for rain. Raining big dumper home runs, that is.
Number 60, the magical tour of Cal Raleigh just continues.
Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
Mark your calendars, Mariners fans. This season is jam-packed with epic events. Be here for Ichiro Replica Statue Night, April 10th, presented by BDA. Humpy Shoulder Plush Night, April 11th, thanks to Microsoft. And Randy Johnson Number Retirement Night, May 2nd, presented by T-Mobile. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
What is it, boy? Someone need help? Someone in trouble?
Oh, okay. So you just want me to get Progressive Auto Insurance because their collision coverage covers up to $1,000 in vet bills if you're injured in an accident? That's it? Okay, calm down. Let's not resort to name calling.
Progressive's collision coverage helps pay for care for your pet when they're in the car during an accident.
No, you're right. Sorry, I shouldn't have said calm down.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage included with purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Not sure how to tackle your taxes? Are you sweating the small print? You may be experiencing FOMO, the fear of messing up. The answer? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it with a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. It's time to take your taxes to the max. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you don't care about saving 50% off your wireless bill for the same 5G coverage the big guys are charging a fortune for, maybe you care about keeping jobs in America. Pure Talk does. They've pledged to run their entire operation from this country, including all their customer service. Or maybe you care about our nation's veterans. Pure Talk does. They've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to America's Warrior Partnership, a fantastic organization working hard to prevent veteran suicide. Or maybe you care about closing America's skills gap. Pure Talk does. They're a proud supporter of MicroWorks. They're helping my foundation Train the next generation of skilled workers. Don't get me wrong. Saving money's great, and you'll save plenty with Pure Talk. But if you want to be in business with people who share your values, dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Get out in the sun, get your hands in the soil. A little gardening goes a long way. Hi, I'm Sarah from Sky Nursery in Shoreline. April is a great time to grow your connection to nature. Whether it's native fir trees in your backyard, a thriving patch of flowers, or a walk through your local arboretum. Whatever your adventure, there is something beautiful to discover. Our purpose at Sky Nursery is to support you on your gardening journey with quality plants, supplies, and local knowledge. Celebrate Earth Day, Arbor Day, and Native Plant Month with Sky Nursery. Garden tips and info at skynursery.com.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. One service member has now been rescued after an F-15E fighter jet went down over Iran this morning. CBS correspondent Cami McCormick reports.
The fate of the second crew member is unknown, but verified video shows U.S. military aircraft flying over southwest Iran as an apparent search continues. Retired Navy fighter pilot Matthew Buckley.
They sprung into action. The HC-130 crews, the pararescue folks, they are some of the most elite military forces on this planet.
It's a delicate operation, he says.
Over 10,000 target sets hit. The fact that we haven't seen more of these is a testament to our military capability and the young men and women wearing the uniform out there on the tip of the spear.
Iranian TV said a reward was being offered for the capture of an American pilot. An email criticizing the war and calling Zionism cancerous may have cost a University of Washington professor a leadership role. KIRO News Radio spoke to Dr. Arya Fani when the war started.
Because we're attacking a country of 95 million people with absolutely no stated objectives, no plan, no exit strategy.
No comment from UW. As gas prices continue to climb, more and more drivers are flocking to tribal gas stations. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha says they're cheaper because they get special tax breaks.
The cost difference for a gallon of regular is significant. At a Tahoma station in Fife, the cost, according to Gas Buddy, is at $4.80. Tulalip Market in Marysville rang up at $4.85. Angel of the Winds fuel in Arlington tallies $4.69. Compare that to non-tribal stations, the state average, according to AAA, $5.37. And if you're looking to get diesel, it's even worse, nearly $6.74.
Imagine your email crashing in outer space.
Outlook not responding. NASA can empathize. GeekWire reports that Commander Reed Wiseman needed some earthbound tech support when his email wasn't working on his Microsoft Surface Pro. A Blue Sky user captured the exchange.
Yeah, go for it. And then I also see that I have two Microsoft Outlooks, and neither one of those are working. If you want to remote in and check Optimus and those two Outlooks, that would be awesome.
Rest assured, Artemis's primary flight systems run on separate hardware. Houston fixed the problem about an hour later, jumping in remotely. All systems go. John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
We're going to check your drive now, and it's been a glorious Friday light. No problems that I can see. We are a little slow, I-5 northbound from, and something just popped up. Darn it, Jillian, you shouldn't have said everything looks good. At the West Seattle Bridge, there is something blocking. It hasn't been reported by WashDOT yet, either a crash or a disabled vehicle, and that explains there is a little bit of slowing down, about a mile back, but it's not bumper to bumper. There's some slowing from about 45th in the University District down into downtown Seattle, and that's because of the Ship Canal construction zone. Other than that, we are looking like a speed limit drive everywhere else. This report brought to you by KIRO Newsradio. And we're going to dry out for a great weekend with highs in the 60s. It's 46 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. A happy Fresh Friday to all of you. It is time for us to agree to disagree, brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves, just really go at it.
So I debated talking about this because we are choosing joy, but some of our topics felt a little spicy, so I guess I'm choosing spice. I'm going to bring back in relationships. Gee, we talked a lot about when it is appropriate for people to spend money in relationships, and I want to introduce this. Let's say you're in a committed partnership and you agree to share costs. Let's say you live together, so you're sharing rent, utilities, groceries, but one person makes significantly more money than the other. Mm-hmm. Do you agree that it should always be a 50-50 split, or should it be based on your income?
Go ahead, G.
Based on your income.
Okay.
It's simple. I mean, if you're in a situation where, let's say it started out, 50-50 and all those kind of things, and then all of a sudden you are making more money, there needs to be stuff that's done or happens to where there's less of a financial burden on the other person. I think that would be fair. Now, some people go into it with a 50-50 and they still stay strict on the 50-50.
My answer is do what works for you and your relationship. Mm-hmm. I have been married for such a long time that, I can't tell you what you should do or what would work for you if you are just starting a committed relationship. I mean, for some people, it's you put all the money in a pot and, so one person may make 2 times the amount as the other, but you put it all in that pot and then, deal with your expenses that way. I do know that I would have an issue if I was in a relationship and it was getting down to the pennies and people being really petty about, oh, well, you make so much more. So that would be a turnoff for me.
Let me give you something else.
Okay.
What if you can't pay fully 50-50 or fully 70-30 based on interest or things that you pay for? Like, for example, you could be 50-50, but your partner's like, hey, it's really important for me. I have my $500 a month Equinox membership, so I can't contribute the same amount in rent.
Is Equinox ever coming to Washington, Sophia?
I don't think so.
I need Equinox here.
You would thrive
I don't even know what it is.
Equinox.
What is it? Is it a gym?
Yes.
It is the gym of all gyms.
Yeah,
okay.
I need an Equinox here.
Sounded like a band to me.
Okay, and the monthly membership is like an insane fee. I only bring this up because I do know someone who asked to have their rent reduced because they said they couldn't afford it, but it was because she had a $500 Equinox membership.
See, that would be a matter of priorities. And then you would be looking at it like, okay, wait a minute.
If that's a priority in your partner's life,
then again, you have to come up with an agreement that works for both of you.
Real quick, was it the guy or the gal that wanted the Equinox paid for?
Well, this was different because this was in my situation is a roommate household agreement, so it's a little bit different than a partnership.
Oh.
But she was paying less in her apartment because she said she couldn't afford the same amount of rent as everyone else.
Because of her outside expenses.
Her outside expenses, which was her fancy gym membership. Is that okay?
Right.
Again, I would go with for me, if someone were to say, well, I've got to have a $500 gym membership and that's why I can't pay rent, then I would probably say, I think we have a difference in opinion as to what is a priority. I would understand a $100 a month gym membership, but $500? It's like there's areas where you could make some adjustments.
Wait, Equinox is in Seattle downtown? Nick, look that up for your dog. Hey, real quick, I just want to check the temperature on something. Just want to make sure we're good. So are we kind of on the same page with income-based?
Yes.
Okay, we're on the same page. Do you guys think that it would be viewed the same if the guy is paying 30% of the bills and the woman's paying 70% of the bills?
My question would be, why does anyone have to know? First of all, That's no one's business.
A lot of times, you know what the truth is? I used to think that women tell their business all the time. They tell the friends all the time what's going on in the relationship. Sweeping statement that I'm gonna stand on, and I'm willing to die on that hill. Literally, men don't. Again, we don't tell the intimate stuff with our friends. Women do. That's why you walking around and the friend looking at you crazy, because she know your business.
They know each other's business, and there isn't a woman loneliness epidemic. That's all I know for sure.
This is true.
I don't know.
Sophia, do women tell the business?
Yeah, they do. They do.
I mean, I was going to say, we connect more. we get down to the nitty gritty.
I think at a certain point, there gets to a point where you're like, okay, I can't really tell my friends that anymore because then they're gonna bring it back as a callback.
Yes.
But definitely early on in a relationship and before marriage, you know all about the business.
It does look like Equinox is in Seattle. It opened May 25, Rainier Square. They offer yoga, Pilates, spin classes.
It opened when?
May 25, so pretty recent, less than a year ago. Rainier Square. 401 Union Street.
Wow. That sounds right.
Gee, why are we not in Equinox?
I had no idea.
We need to get you in there.
Say less. All right, what's next?
All right, next update. Next Flex Friday, we heard about Gee's experience in an Equinox. Okay, we got to talk about Easter. It's Easter weekend.
Yes.
And we had a lot of debate about your brunch plans and quiche. But
thank you to everybody for your great ideas, by the way.
Easter is oftentimes a holiday that we really focus on for children, Easter egg hunts, candy. But are there ways to make is Easter still fun for adults? Are there things that we can do that makes Easter a fun holiday for adults, or is it only for children?
I'm deferring to Ursula. Go ahead, Ursula. Tell us how it can be fun for adults.
Have great food. Have people come to your house and have good fellowship. Remember what the true meaning of Easter is. I actually just think, honestly, it's a great excuse. We're so busy all the time. It's a great excuse. That's what we said. It's like, we don't have kids. Mm-hmm. I mean, young kids anymore. Yeah. But we are actually entertaining the idea of doing some adult-sized Easter fun.
Right.
And I'll just leave it at that because someone who may be coming to the party may be listening right now. But
oh, for real? Yeah.
Like, I love getting an Easter basket. I love giving Easter baskets, an adult version of an Easter basket.
I also think there's never an age where whimsy has to end. Yes. I used to know a family, they would always do a tradition. The kids would do an Easter egg hunt, and the adults, they would he would have a carton of a 6-pack, this is a real thing, and then you go on a beerster egg hunt and go hunt for beers in the yard.
Gee.
I know your face.
This is not your favorite holiday.
No.
But I hope you have a great Easter.
Blame my mom, though. It all started with her. Because we used to go to church every Sunday.
Yeah.
Every Sunday.
Yes.
The only time we didn't go to church was on Easter.
Ironically.
Because she didn't like it, because she was like, oh, I don't like going to the church. All these new folks want to show up and they want to pretend like they, so she would stay away.
She wasn't entirely wrong with that, though.
No, she wasn't. All right, text messages, feedback, and then we'll have Ursula's words to live by.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
You didn't work hard to watch your retirement unravel. You saved, you sacrificed, you built something meaningful for yourself and for your family. Hi, I'm elder law attorney Rajiv Nagaj. I've seen what happens when unexpected health events collide with traditional retirement plans. Savings that took decades to build drains away faster than anyone expected. At LifePoint Law, we help you build a life plan to help you protect your assets and way of life. If you are retired or thinking about retiring, now is the time to double-check your retirement plan.
Retirement doesn't have to feel like a gamble. With straightforward planning and clear answers, LifePoint Law replaces fear with clarity, but only if you start now. Attend the next seminar this Saturday in Bothell, April 7th in Bremerton, the 9th in Olympia, or the 11th in Federal Way. Seats are limited. Sign up now at lifepointlaw.com. Visit lifepointlaw.com.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I've been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning, everybody. It's now time for these good old text messages. Ursula, what you got? Keish?
But that's going to be on Sunday. Met Market better come through for me, and I hope it's not sold out before the time we get there.
Right.
Because I'm not the only one. Let's put it this way. Okay, on Flex Fridays, T in Conway says, we're talking about the things that we could do and the little tiny things we can do to extend our lives even by a year. And what was it? 5 extra minutes of exercise.
5 extra minutes of sleep, 2 extra minutes of exercise, and half a serving of vegetables a day.
Would be enough.
6.
Just that little bit, as I think it's just basically being intentional.
Right.
So T in Conway says, I started Zepbound last weekend for my lipedema, and since diet and exercise are not as effective for women with lipedema, my physical therapist wanted me to start swimming for the compression effects of the water and light exercise for flow. And just in one 50-minute session of light swimming and treading water on Wednesday, my leg measurements by my PT on Thursday went down by 1 to 3 centimeters throughout both legs. Hoping to continue the trend. Good for you. That is fantastic.
Yeah. And Jeannie in Sonoma said working out from home is great. We started during COVID and made one bedroom into a yoga workout studio. It is so wonderful to do it daily at home. We have found so many classes on YouTube, and we combine yoga, weight training, and senior Tai Chi. It's fantastic. Don't have to dress up or drive anywhere.
I know. That was kind of a revelation for me since I got sick. It was my little home gym, which consists of a bike and some resistance and some weights, is perfectly fine. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
I don't have to go to the gym.
Right.
Alan on Mercer Island says, gee, some perspective for you because you were saying turning 50 is kind of a big darn deal and it's your favorite birthday. I'm 78 years old, Alan says. On my 50th birthday, I called my father and I whined, Dad, I'm 50. And he replied, don't whine to me. I have a son who's 50.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
On King County and also now the state, and talking about the accountability when it comes to taxpayer money. Lomax in Sammamish says, I am a tiny small business guy, and at this moment I'm doing my quarterly sales tax reports. The state sure as heck demands accountability from us as taxpayers.
Come on.
Sue in the 206, she made reference, G, to that analogy you made about how our diet and our money can't be the same. And Sue said, G, were you educated on serving size? Educated and experience matters, right? It takes experience. The employees handling our money, aren't they the people who know how to do this, educated, experienced in this line of work?
I mean, yeah.
Yep.
I guess.
Okay, on the great brunch debate, Brett in Seattle's great. You made me lose my confidence.
What'd they
Sorry,
say?
I got to keep it a buck. Quiche is straight trash. Deviled eggs for the win. Sounds like you wrote that. Is that you, Brett?
I did not write that.
Dang.
G, did you go downstairs and add a tally mark for deviled
what
eggs?
the heck?
I need to.
Carrie and Bonnie Lake decided to give you some advice if you need an extra appetizer for the potluck.
What'd they say?
She said, easy for Easter brunch. Asparagus,
Yum.
oven roasted at 400 degrees for about 8 minutes, plunked into a serving dish, topped with chèvre, lemon zest, and cracked black pepper, salt to taste.
That sounds so good. That sounds so good. That's
I'm
the
sorry,
vegetable
y'all.
I'll take.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Stop it. Don't trash
don't do it.
asparagus.
Okay.
My family loves asparagus.
I don't want to come to Easter for smelly pea. You knew I was going to say that.
They're gonna leave before they have to go to the bathroom. Okay, we're good. On the wage gap, we talked about women not doing as good a job. This was my contention as men when it comes to bargaining, and also not being as confident when it comes to going in and saying, yeah, I could do that job. Yeah. Nini in the 206 says, as a female who worked as a software engineer for 30 plus years, I agree that women are not as good as men when negotiating salaries. Another thing where there is a difference is, as Ursula noted, men generally have more confidence than women. I've seen many instances where women won't even list a skill on their resumes unless they think they are highly proficient at it. So true. And I urge women to ask themselves if they've ever bitten off more than they can chew in their careers. And if you answer never, you are likely not selling yourself at the correct level. 1,000%.
1,000%. And only men have the confidence to go to work without deodorant. Ursula, it's now time for words to live by.
I was going to ask you about that today, G. This is from Anton St. Martin.
I'm struggling?
No, you're not.
All right.
Happiness already exists in your life. we talk about choosing joy. All you need to do is tune into it, and you can start doing that right now.
1,000. I agree.
Choose joy.
But sometimes
it's hard.
Sometimes I feel selfish when I choose joy and happiness.
Yeah, it doesn't mean ignoring other people's pain.
Yeah. Nick, what you got, bruh?
Well, it's an Easter holiday a lot like to regard while we get our eggs and peeps ready to hunt out in the yard. So for those who have a brunch party in mind for fam and friends, have a hoppy celebration for the bunnies with no end. I wonder now if Ursula's idea for her brunch date will include the bill be passed to Long Live Mark served on his plate. And is he paying for her friends too while she's going out? I guess it's okay since they're married, so I'm going to let it slide.
We're doing okay. We're doing okay. We've been married over 30 years. We're doing something right.
So when I do have family come to town next weekend and we all go to dinner on Friday night, G shouldn't have to pay, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't your idea, right?
Unless you were the one who gave the...
It is my idea. It's our plan.
But it's perfectly fine to take on the bill if that's what you intended. But
no, you guys are making me rethink it. When the bill comes, I'm just going, everybody just stay around and look. Ursula, have a great weekend.
You too.
Have a great weekend. Sophia, thank you. Are you with us next week?
I'm with you guys next week.
Nick, thanks, man.
You too, man.
Have a great weekend. Hey, the Jake and Spike Show, they're coming in next. All of you have an amazing weekend as well. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
So I can see the Knicks play basketball. Him and juggle my checkbook. Could it cost more money than a sucker could ever spend? But I wouldn't give a sucker or a bum from the rock, not a dime till I made it again. Everybody go, hotel, motel, what you gonna do today? Cause I'm gonna get a fly girl, gonna get some spank and drive off in a death OJ. Everybody go, hotel, motel, holiday inn.
Eric Johnson here. I covered a lot of accidents over the past 30 years or so, but I never got to say much about what to do after a crash. Be honest, do you know what evidence to collect, what pictures to take, what documents to request, or what you shouldn't say to your insurance company? The Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the roads throw at them. Know your rights and how to avoid common mistakes after an accident by getting your free copy at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8157. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-8157. That's 800-575-8157.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Dr. Mark Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures, including mine, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. And we've interviewed over 100 of Dr. Wagner's patients, and we hear the same things. It changed my life. I'm back to doing the activities I love without pain. It really works. It's remarkable.
We love helping people get back to living life to the fullest and doing the things they enjoy most.
They also must really enjoy not having the pain and recovery time with surgery.
Stem cell therapy is a 60-minute, non-surgical, minimally invasive procedure to eliminate pain, regenerate cartilage, treat tendon and ligament tears, osteoarthritis, and chronic tendinitis.
And you only use the patient's own stem cells.
That's right, their body's own stem cells.
So, whether it's a hip like me, an elbow, shoulder, or knee...
Don't forget ankles, wrists, and thumbs.
Yep, those patients too. Before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, first. Learn more at drmarkwagnermd.com.
File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction or your money back. File today the easy way in the Credit Karma app.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-507-9701.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer.